Long before there was a featherweight king, there was an underdog. A fighter who, with heart and determination, ruled a different division. Who made up for lack of size with speed, tenacity, and an undying passion to be better than any man put in front of him.
When I went to featherweight, my goal's always been to be a champion.
Let's go, Holloway. I'm coming for that belt.
From Alberta, Canada's capital city of Edmonton, it finally happens. The answer we have been waiting for.
That's it! Frankie Edgar gets the late finish!
Look at this! He's got to tap! He got it! And it's all over!
What happens when the greatest featherweight champion of all time, a masterclass striker,
He's melting. That's it! It's all over!
Wow! Max Holloway!
who schools even the most cunning knockout artists of the day and signs off violently with every piece of art, meets up with a man who, through hell or high water, just keeps coming.
That's it! Frankie Edgar finishes!
True champion is someone who can see a low point in their life and they come right back up. And guess what? 45 is still my division.
But not before one of the all-time greats in women's MMA history makes her return. A brawling blend of ruthless aggression and killer instinct. A Brazilian icon whose very name strikes fear in the hearts of foes far and wide.
Oh!
That's it. That's it.
Chris Cyborg!
Takes on Canada's own phenom, an undefeated submission specialist who only needs a small opening to call it a night.
Wow! Felicia Spencer!
Tonight, the fists will be flying. Will it be an overthrow,
I'm just excited to shock everybody.
or can the mighty roar again?
I want to do my best I can, and I think it's gonna be different after this fight.
Will it be Hawaii's night,
Hey, King gotta defend his throne. Come see me.
or will the featherweight title head east to New Jersey?
Win over Max Holloway means I'm the best in the world. Again.
From Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, it's UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar, and it starts right now.
Dateline, Edmonton, Alberta. What a time of year to be in Western Canada. This nation boasts some of the most impassioned mixed martial arts fans in the world. Tonight, they are in for something special as two of the UFC's best will finally meet for the undisputed featherweight championship. Live from Rogers Place here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, this is UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar. Brought to you by the official frozen meal of UFC, never just eat, devour. Closed captioning for tonight's telecast is brought to you by The Boys. Watch the new anti-superhero heroes, The Boys, on Amazon Prime Video. We also remind you tonight's broadcast is available in its entirety in Spanish. With that, I'm John Anna. Great to have you with us tonight from Edmonton. Well, they are both destined for the UFC Hall of Fame, and man, were they destined to fight. Hawaii's Max Holloway has put together the greatest singular run in UFC featherweight history, but there's a fairly significant box he has yet to check. Enter Frankie Edgar, who for 6 years has tried to strike gold in a second UFC division, and tonight, he can accomplish that in a big way as he tries to cement his place among the all-time UFC greats. My partner tonight needs no introduction, Joe Rogan. This fight was booked twice prior. Finally, tonight in Edmonton, it shall be done.
I'm very excited to see it because I think Frankie Edgar presents a bunch of very unique problems. First of all, he has spectacular cardio, great wrestling, and experience that's off the charts. And I also think that Max Holloway is the greatest featherweight champion of all time. So a champion, a former champion from 155 pounds versus the consensus greatest featherweight ever, we got a great matchup.
And we run out of superlatives when we're talking about Max Holloway. Truly the class of the class at 145 pounds. In your mind, what is it that makes him so special?
Volume is a big factor. Cardio, volume, and incredible well-roundedness. He also is spectacular utilizing range, although he has been in much more dogfights lately, but I think that's particularly of his own choice. But he can win by submission. He can win by knockout. He's beaten the great Jose Aldo twice. His resume just speaks to itself. But Frankie Edgar is a man who was a lightweight champion. He was cutting no weight. to understand how difficult that is, it's really hard to explain. He is relentless. His ability to wear on guys, the way he beat down Cub Swanson and strangled him with just a second to go. His pace is incredible. His cardio is off the charts. His willpower is another thing. It's impossible to measure how much this man wants to win this fight tonight, and he knows this is a very unique opportunity in front of him.
Frankie Edgar has made some changes when it comes to his strength and conditioning, and he feels like he's just as fast now at 37 than he was at 27 years old. These fighter odds brought to you by PokerStars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars.net. So we show you the last 8 fights, and Max Holloway has been favored in 8 of the last 9. Brian Ortega, that fight against T-City 2 fights ago, very close on paper. Tonight, Max Holloway entrenched as a minus 360 betting favorite against the former lightweight champion, Frankie Edgar. All right, co-main event tonight could very well produce the next challenger for the great Amanda Nunes. Chris Cyborg, no surprise, a big favorite tonight. She takes on the undefeated Canadian Felicia Spencer.
There's a lot of questions coming into this fight. First of all, Chris Cyborg experiencing the very first crushing defeat of her career, being starched in 1 round by Amanda Nunes, and not just losing the title of featherweight champion, but also the title of the best women's pound-for-pound fighter. Amanda Nunes is now the GOAT. But what Spencer brings to the table is an undefeated win streak and grappling skill. The way she handled Megan Anderson was particularly impressive. She's also a legitimate 145-pound fighter.
Yes.
We're not talking about a woman who's a 135er who's going up.
Cyborg didn't want nothing to do with that handshake, but Felicia Spencer may be untested. She is not at all intimidated at the prospect of facing the great Chris Cyborg here tonight. All right, the table is set. We are jonesing to get this one going. Here's a look at what else is coming your way. The rest of the fight card is brought to you by Motel 6. When you need a rest, check into Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you. Well, it has been a productive 2 years for Jeff Hands of Steel Neal. It started on Dana White's Contender Series, and now the skilled Fortis MMA rep is already 3-0 in the UFC. Tonight, he will look to state his case for the rankings against a true wild man, Floridian finisher Nico Price. 8 UFC fights for him thus far, none has seen a 3rd round. And tonight, we will see if the price is right as the hybrid goes for the biggest win of his MMA career. One of 3 fighters with Canadian roots on the main card, Olivier Aubin-Mercier has won 7 of 11 in the UFC. He has been on the fringe of contention in the past and certainly has a big one in front of him tonight as home underdog against the 22-year-old upstart Arman Tsarukyan. Born in the nation of Georgia, this is one versatile finisher. He raised eyebrows in his UFC debut 3 months ago against Islam Makhachev. He'll look to keep the hype train rolling tonight on the road. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. And there is the Quebec City-born Marc-Andre Barriault, nickname Powerball. Tonight he makes his 2nd UFC appearance and figures to have a willing trade partner in the form of Poland's Krzysztof Jotko, an aggressive striker and grappler who has officially regained his momentum here in 2019. We'll see if that continues here in Edmonton. The rules of the Octagon are brought to you by Hobbs & Shaw. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs & Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, in theaters August 2nd. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds, but for championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, except in the case of a 10-10 round, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then octagon control in that order. All right, one final note before we get going. The Edmonton Combative Sports Commission has adopted the newer set of rules for mixed martial arts. However, we will not have the use of instant replay tonight in any capacity. These fighter odds are brought to you by PokerStars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars.net. Marc-Andre Barriault, plus 160 underdog tonight against the more UFC-tested party, Poland's Chris Jotko, who is the minus 190 favorite. With that, Ready to go with the main card, UFC 240, live from Edmonton. And now settled in South Florida. And looking forward to the next phase of his career, Chris Jotko's confidence has never been higher as he hits the road tonight to face Marc-Andre Barriault. The middleweight division has been on fire over the last 12 months, and tonight, the spotlight finds two more 185-pound hopefuls, Marc-Andre Barriault and Krzysztof Jotko, who could bring the best out of each other in this pivotal matchup.
I think this fight will be super exciting because Andre like to fight and I like to fight also, so this fight will be a lot of fireworks this night.
I can't wait to fight Krzysztof Jotko. I think he's a very good matchup for me. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Marc-Andre Barriault's power was on full display in his UFC debut in May. And in his first bout since that 3-rounder with Andrew Sanchez, the Quebec product will seek a fast and furious finish of Poland's Krzysztof Jotko, and what he hopes will be another highlight for what is a growing reach.
Every opponent in the middleweight division should respect my power, and Krzysztof Jotko will taste it tonight.
An April win over Alan Amadovsky put Krzysztof Jotko back in the win column in a big way. And with his ship sailing in the right direction, the middleweight veteran who has defeated Talish Latis, Tamden McCrory, and Scott Askham today can start thinking about another run to the UFC middleweight rankings.
I feel ready, healthy, and I'm very excited to coming back to Canada, and I will win this fight.
All right, so here's Chris Jotko making the walk for his 12th UFC appearance, and there's been a different bounce in Jotko's step here during fight week. One of the things he said to us on Thursday, Joe, I can't be Robbie Lawler. As much as I love Robbie Lawler, I gotta be myself. I'm older, I'm wiser, and he has trained a lot more movement, knees, elbows, kicks, and trying to really get back to what got him to the dance here tonight.
Well, he comes out of that fantastic American top team, and although he might be older and wiser, he's still only 29 years old.
Right.
He's still got a long career ahead of him, and he's a very talented and well-rounded guy. He's got a great mixture of striking and grappling, and a boatload of experience coming into this fight. Huge experience advantage inside the octagon for Jotko.
Jotko hits the inspection zone. This fighter description brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3, now available in EA Access on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Subscribe and play now for $4.99 a month. Statistically, Chris Jotko's takedown defense is the highest in UFC middleweight history. He's a hard guy to hit as well. 6 of his 20 career wins have come by knockout or TKO. Long on amateur combat sports experience, 65-5 as an amateur in combat. And tonight in search of an 8th win, this is a guy who's been ranked in the past, a guy who kicks like a mule. And again, I don't want to read too much into his fight week demeanor, but the confidence has just been pouring out of this kid all week long.
Well, stylistically, I think Barriault is going to present a very unique challenge for him. He's very boxing heavy, big power, and very aggressive.
All right, Chris Jotko has hit the canvas. He now awaits the Quebec City product, Marc-Andre Barriault. Well, Joe, it was a tough draw for Marc-Andre Barriault in his UFC debut against the suffocating Andrew Sanchez. Just got overwhelmed in that first round and wasn't able to recover. And he just felt like the UFC stage got to him. You know, he even mentioned, I got Bruce Buffer screaming in my face. It's just a different animal than the regional scene.
It's an overwhelming experience, and it really takes having one fight under your belt for you to show your true skill. But what we saw in that fight, when he did overcome that first round, we saw real good power, great boxing fundamentals, a well-rounded approach, and very, very aggressive. All those things lead to an excellent matchup against Jotko. Because of the fact that he's more boxing heavy and Jotko's got those outstanding kicks from the outside, this should be a lot of fun.
And we have seen some bull versus matador type fights tonight, and largely that's what Marc-Andre Barriault said he expects. Jotko moves a lot. He's not expecting him to engage him on the feet necessarily, so it wasn't lost on power bar Barrio that he might have to do some chasing tonight to get to the desired target against Chris Jotko.
Well, he's certainly confident, and he's confident that he's made the proper adjustments, that after that first fight, got those jitters out from under his belt, and really had the opportunity to just experience what it's like and just get it over with.
Right, exactly, and that's, you're almost taking the words out of his mouth. That is over with. He knows he's new at UFC caliber. He has fought high-level competition, and tonight the focus for Marc-Andre Barrio here in his native Canada to let it loose and just be himself on what is quite obviously the biggest stage of his mixed martial arts career. All right, ready to go with this middleweight opener. First, we get you the tail of the tape. Marc-Andre Barrio and Chris Jotko, both 29 years of age, both fighters 6'1" tall. Chris Jotko will have a reach advantage of 3 inches. All right, now to get this main card started properly, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, for UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar, presented by Devour. Bring home and bite into the octagon crust of their new line of extremely meaty and cheesy frozen pizzas. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Edmonton, Poland, Krzysztof Jotko. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a striker holding a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 184 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Quebec City, Quebec, Canada, Marc-Andre Powerbar Barrio. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. The beautiful Brittany Palmer. Thank you, Brittany. Getting us started for round 1 of a possible 3 here in the UFC's middleweight division that has so much depth and momentum right now here in 2019. Marc-Andre Barrio, no surprise, takes the center of the octagon in red. Chris Jotko is in the gray. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, in theaters August 2nd.
Jotko's got to be careful keeping his head straight up in the air. He's got to get it off the center line. Barrio throws a lot of power into his punches. He's got real good boxing fundamentals. Jotko with the clinch.
So Jotko, 30 seconds in, choosing to grapple here. We'll see if he can ground Marc-Andre Barrio.
I think he wants to gas out those arms.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a strategy so often employed and really brought to prominence by BJ Penn and George St. Pierre. When George fought BJ, he did exactly this in the first round for that reason, because he was worried about BJ's power.
Barrio gets his back off the fence and now puts Jotko there. Barrio fights for an underhook.
Good knee to the body by Barrio. Jotko turns him around, good use of the head.
Barrio spent some time at TriStar Gym in advance of this one, actually sparred with Andrew Sanchez, the guy he fought in his UFC debut. Barrio draws high praise from his coaches for his work ethic, coachability. He's very good in these clinch situations as well.
Jotko's chewing up that inside thigh.
Now he some separation about 2 minutes in.
Jocko's got real power with that left kick.
Barrio advances. He expected to have to be the predator in this matchup. His words, not mine.
Caught that one on the elbow. Nice knee up the middle by Jocko. Jocko with a good uppercut there.
Follow-up shot as well for Poland's Jocko. Now living full-time in South Florida, training at American Top Team. Thiago Alves among those in his corner tonight. Barrio keeping that guard high defensively as he enters.
Good elbow by Jocko. Jocko does have a disturbing tendency to just keep his head straight up in the air.
Oh, nice short elbow there from Barrio.
That one stung.
Barrio corner wants him away from the fence here with a minute to go in the round. Just missed on those two attempts, did Barrio.
Jocko dropping down once again with a takedown attempt. And he gets it. Almost. Back up to his feet. Good job by Barrio.
30 seconds here in the round. Jocko with a kick, but he's one and done. Now Barrio with a level change and slams Jocko down.
Oh, he lost the position though. Got a little sloppy there. Barrio back up to his feet.
Immediately fights for the underhook. Knee from Jocko, and that is how we end round one.
Wow, tout un rond. C'est ce que je veux.
Great round. This is what I want.
Respire. On respire.
Nail.
C'est excellent. Je veux que tu continues comme ça.
This is excellent. I want you to continue like this. This position. Keep this position. Do not continue with just one kick. Do the combination. 1-2 with the head kick. We need to control the ring.
Laisse-toi pas contrôler le long de la cage, puis ramène-le, tu vas plus faire du dommage.
Do damage.
Avec tes coudes et tes genoux le long de la cage.
You can start boxing from the inside.
On continue de la même manière. Pression, pression, let's go.
Same way, let's go.
UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar is brought to you by the official frozen meal of UFC. Never just eat, devour. All right, round two here. You got to hear that Marc-Andre Barrio corner. They want more combinations, potentially to punctuate it with a head kick. Let's see how it goes here in our second round. Jocko was pretty efficient on the feet in round one, landed 60% of his significant strike attempts. Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. Jocko trying to catch Marc-Andre Barrio on the way in. Landed that right hand partially behind the ear. Barrio goes to the uppercut, appeared to just miss.
Jocko's been throwing that left kick when he gets on the outside, but he's doing it naked. He's not hiding it behind punches. And it's one of the reasons why it's not effective, but it's his best weapon. It's a really powerful shot. And he's not having good success with the hands. Really, where he's been having the most success is just getting the clinch. There's a good left hand there, but it was partially blocked.
Barrio trying to move his head side to side.
I just don't think Jocko's done anything to really sting Barrio yet, to really get his respect.
Right. More often than not with Jocko tonight, it has been one and done. Back to the clinch we go. Barrio raises the knee. You hear Thiago Alves calling for elbows and knees from Jocko. There's a knee. And a level change that was sniffed out rather easily by Marc-Andre Barrio. Jocko staying heavy here. Herb Dean allowing the fighters to work out of this.
Look at how Barrio's covering Jocko's mouth. Very interesting. And now he's reaching over to grab his face. Good body shots there by Barrio, even from the clinch.
A lot more steam on those than those knees Jocko's throwing to that right leg of Barrio.
There's a good uppercut by Jocko.
Barrio resets under 2 minutes now to go round two.
Oh, good right hand by Barrio.
One of his better strikes of the fight.
We try to hit him with a pimp slap. Seems a little frustrated there. See how he dropped his hands?
Right. A small cut on the bridge of the nose of Marc-Andre Barrio. Big uppercut from Jocko.
Yeah, Jocko's had some good success with that right uppercut, the lead right uppercut. An unpredictable punch.
Grueling clinch work as we show you the clinch strikes. Jocko with a 3-2 advantage through 9+ minutes. Knee to the body there from Jocko. Barrio has his back against the fence once again. Herb Dean with a subtle warning to work there. We get some separation now late in the round.
Good inside leg kick by Barrio. Boy, good luck scoring this fight.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Here we see a right hand from Barrio and a good elbow there. One more right there by Barrio. Here's a good knee to the body by Jocko.
He's closing up, so you can fake, punch, and move away, right? I like what you're doing, the single to the body. If you're pushing against the cage, keep that pressure. You gotta avoid to stay against the cage now because we're up 2 rounds. So he's gonna come crazy right now. So be ready, lots of things, and they can pay for everything. 5 minutes, baby. That's walce.
Słyszałeś, wygrałeś pierwsze 2 rundy, teraz będzie ostro wychodzić. Ruszaj się, cały czas się ruszaj. Jak idziesz do tyłu, broda na dół. Dobra? Broda na dół, jak idziesz do tyłu.
Let's go. Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. So it all comes down to this. Marc-Andre Barriault trying to come through in front of the Canadian crowd tonight against Poland's Chris Jotko. You heard Thiago Alves, Peter Sabata looking for Jotko to mix it up, goes for an early takedown, and Barriault's takedown defense holds up.
Jotko right back to the clinch.
Jotko continuing to touch Barriault with those knees to the inside of that right leg. Herb Dean maybe losing a little bit of patience here later in the fight. But these veteran referees, Joe, have a way of tuning out the boo birds and letting the fighters work.
Oh, Herb does. Yeah, Herb, but he even is getting a little annoyed. Almost a takedown here by Jotko. Good defense there by Barriault. Good balance. He's just got to get out of this position. This never favors him, and Jotko's able to slow everything down and control the pace. And what he wants is a wild brawl. Right. He wants this. But he lets Jotko clinch with him. Oh, there's a good shot by Barriault. Jotko's just, even though it's not the most exciting style, he's doing a great job of nullifying the strength of Barriault, which is his boxing.
Right.
Oh, big uppercut there.
Barriault covers up, Jotko unable to land. Jotko's got a movement-heavy style. Starting to look a little bit fatigued. Needs a big Barriault elbow. And now the uppercut for good measure. Under 3 now to go.
Barriault really trying to make something happen here. And Jotko's got to do something to get his respect. He's definitely doing great work in the clinch as far as neutralizing him, but not much offensively.
Neither fighter much of a submission threat. Barriault has never won a fight by submission. Back to the center. The question is for how long? A little cut that Jotko is now dealing with. Jotko back to the well with that lead elbow yet again. See if Barriault can let those hands go late in this one. Trying to work his way inside. Jotko making that initiative difficult. It's a pretty significant cut that Jotko's dealing with, but we are late in this one. Seemingly could be anybody's fight with just over a minute to go. Jotko, though, with the significant strike advantage, 49-29 unofficially.
Good leg kick there by Barriault. But with only a minute to go, he's got to break free of the clinch. There's a good elbow and another. Those are solid shots, perhaps some of the best of the fight. Good up elbow by Jotko. Right hand by Barriault.
He's got to throw, he's got to go. Wow, Jotko looks exhausted. Jotko still the busier fighter here late in this one. Pretty good entry there. He takes Barrio down. And that is the first takedown they will credit Jotko with on 7 attempts. All right, Chris Jotko and Marc-Andre Barrio go the distance tonight here in Edmonton. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
That's an excellent elbow by Barrio, one of the best shots of the fight. And there's a good knee to the body by Jotko. And another good elbow. Probably the best one he landed.
Barrio pretty effective with his work in the clinch. Wasn't able to get a ton done at distance tonight. Perhaps frustration creeping in at times. Forced to chase down the elusive Chris Jotko. Jotko clearly believes he has done enough to win tonight. He was the busier guy. Threw 180 total strikes compared to 106 for the local, so to speak, Marc-Andre Barrio. He lives on the other side of this great nation, but exciting opportunity for him here tonight as he tries to secure his first UFC win. And I think largely the fight that Barrio expected, even though maybe didn't get as much done on the feet as he would have liked, but he knew he was going to have to work in a lot of clinch situations and chase Jotko down, and that is what he did tonight. Thiago Alves, UFC welterweight veteran, showing his respect to the Barrio corner. Jotko came in with a win back in April. That ended a 3-fight skid for him. He's a guy who has flirted with the rankings in the past. Was number 10 in the world when he fought Uriah Hall a couple years ago. Jotko, though, has had to deal with some adversity in his career. Broken hands, staph infections in both knees at one point in time. He was on antibiotics when he fought David Branch a few years ago. And he had to work hard tonight in 15 grueling minutes with Marc-Andre Barrio. And we might be looking at a split decision. They are taking their sweet time with those scorecards.
Yeah, it was a confusing fight to score because it was fairly uneventful.
Right.
No one got hurt. I mean, they got hit, but no one really got rocked. There was no big moments. I mean, maybe the biggest moment of the fight was the takedown in the last round.
Right. All right, the official decision is now in. It's brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile and never miss a knockout with their reliable network and unlimited data. With those scorecards, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Dave Hagan scores it 29-28, Jotko. Kevin Dorna scores it 29-28, Barrio. And Derek Cleary scores the contest 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Christoph Jotko.
So by the narrowest of margins, Chris Jotko gets the win tonight. And he is now a pretty shiny 8-4 inside the octagon. 2 straight wins for the American top team product, Chris Jotko. Well, arguably the most interested observer tonight in our main event will be that man, the top featherweight contender, Alexander Volkanovski. Joe came here, made weight as a backup, and likely next in line for the title shot at 145.
And what a fighter this young man is. It's hard to believe, but he told me he used to weigh somewhere north of 230 pounds when he was playing rugby, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And what a phenomenal featherweight fighter he is. The Chad Mendes fight really brought him into the big stage and let people know that he is absolutely world class. And then going from that to defeating Jose Aldo, which was absolutely gigantic. And here he is now at that top contender position, whereas if one of these guys had fallen out, he would be the man.
Right.
And he thought he was going to be the man after the Aldo fight.
Yes. Well, that title shot could come as soon as October 5th, and that would be in his neck of the woods, because on that night, as many of you know, it'll be Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya as they unify the middleweight titles. And this is going to be a stadium show in Melbourne, Australia. And it'll be good to see the Reaper back against the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
Oh, what a fight. I mean, stylistically, this is everything you want in a world championship matchup. I'm not a fan of interim titles, but if anybody deserves the title, of interim time. It's Stylebender. I mean, that fight with Kelvin Gastelum was a masterpiece of heart and will and technique against two world-class warriors, but Robert Whittaker is an assassin, and he's a guy who's gotten through Yoel Romero not once but twice, and he is just an absolute machine inside the octagon, so well-rounded and so successful and so tough and durable with outstanding striking skills and some of the best takedown defense in the sport. And Stylebender is a masterful fighter. I mean, he is so creative and so technical and absolutely one of the...
Miocic, 3 weeks from tonight, folks. We will be at the Honda Center in Anaheim. All right, these fighter odds brought to you by PokerStars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars.net. So this betting line tightened up a little bit. Arman Tsarukyan still the -150 favorite. Olivier Aubin-Mercier plus 120. He is the home underdog tonight as we get back to the live action now. This one to be contested at 155 pounds. And a training camp spent alongside the great Georges St-Pierre has Olivier Aubin-Mercier on track to deliver his best effort to date against the much-hyped Arman Tsarukyan. After minor setbacks against tough competition like Alexander Hernandez and Gilbert Burns, Canadian lightweight star Olivier Aubin-Mercier has victory in his sights here at home in the Great White North. Tonight he is charged with stopping the rise of hungry prospect Arman Tsarukyan.
Мысли только положительные. Я готовился очень долго к этому бою и готов выйти, показать все 100% себя в этом бою.
I've never been so much motivated, never been so much prepared, so tonight you're in for a show.
A finalist on the Ultimate Fighter Nations in 2014, Olivier Aubin-Mercier has been waving the flag for Canadian MMA ever since. And with 7 UFC wins that have seen him turn back Evan Dunham, Anthony Rocco Martin, and Drew Dober, it is clear he has the potential to bring his nation another world title.
Tonight I want to make a statement to show that I'm part of the elite in the UFC.
Facing Islam Makhachev in his UFC debut in April wasn't an easy assignment for Arman Tsarukyan, but he was up to the task as he battled for 3 hard rounds in helping produce the fight of the night. Tonight, Tsarukyan makes his second UFC appearance against the grappling specialist Olivier Aubin-Mercier.
Я думаю, что ключи у меня будут больше в борьбе, ну и вообще во всех аспектах я буду связывать стойку с борьбой, буду делать все, чтобы я победил.
Well, this man has got a whole lot of potential for growth and development at 22 years old, but he said that doesn't mean I want a slow rise to contention. He is the 22-year-old Arman Tsarukyan. And when I showed up to the arena tonight, Joe Rogan was talking about the film on this guy. Really impressive despite a setback in that UFC debut against Makhachev.
It was a setback, but it was also a victory in terms of letting the world know how highly skilled he is, because he went down to the wire with Islam Makhachev, who I think is one of the most unheralded phenoms in the 155-pound division. He might be in the top 3 or 4 of the best in the world. I really believe that. So when Arman Tsarukyan went to the distance with him, and it was a very close decision, right. I'm like, this kid is for real. And they went blow for blow, takedown attempt for takedown attempt, scramble for scramble. His cardio was impeccable. His technique and his movement choices were all excellent. I'm very, very high on this kid. And at 22 years of age, I expect him to come from that fight with a boatload of confidence.
And he's got a lot of high-level experience, 13-2, despite the fact that he was born in 1996, played ice hockey at a very high level, actually nearly high enough to go pro past his 18th birthday, but he wasn't quite at that level. Made a quick pivot to mixed martial arts, and we're certainly glad he did. You see Pahompa, the American top team jiu-jitsu coach, in his corner here tonight. And I would also point out the Makhachev fight, he didn't have a full proper training camp. So this is his first full 8 to 10 week training camp, and he's really excited to show the world what he can do.
That's a very, very good point. And of course, again, I can't stress this enough, how good Makhachev is. So for him to go to the distance and have a razor-close decision, really impressive.
All right, so the Georgian Sarukyan now awaits the home country favorite, OAM. All right, here's a fighter who needs no introduction to UFC fans, one of Canada's best. He is the lightweight hopeful Olivier Aubin-Mercier. And Megan O'Leary, this guy is the real article, definitely an original and very confident coming in after training 4 times a week with George St. Pierre in advance of this one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. When I asked him about that relationship, it's kind of a funny story. He wanted to train with GSP for quite a long time. He wanted to train more closely with him.
Right.
And he spoke to his manager about it, and he said, well, I manage George as well. How about I just ask him? George St. Pierre wanted to train with him, but he didn't want to impose himself on Olivier's camp. So it was a great relationship for them. Olivier Aubin-Mercier also told me, listen, GSP has still got it. I sparred with him. He's still on the top of his game. He is a really interesting guy. John, something I know that you got excited about was the fact that he took this interest in gambling and decided to hire a professional gambler to help him break down his opponent. I mean, it's something that is kind of unheard of in the game now, and he said, much to his coach's enjoyment, that the game plan the gambler broke down for them was very similar to what they wanted to bring into the octagon anyway, but they're looking at this in a totally different light now.
Yeah, well, sometimes a head coach has a lot of different things on his plate, whereas you take an MMA handicapper, all they do is sit around and watch film. But we'll see how it goes for this guy, Joe. He's muscle-bound. He says he's added 4 pounds of muscle, cut out the alcohol 4 weeks out, which hasn't been something he's necessarily done in the past. But, you know, there's pressure on him tonight, right? He was ranked, now he's not. We'll see how it goes.
There certainly is, of course, also fighting in Canada, and also knowing that this Arman Tsarukyan kid is one of the hottest prospects in the division.
All right, just about ready to go. The only lightweight fight we have tonight. It'll be Olivier Aubin-Mercier, who is 30. Arman Tsarukyan, 8 years his junior at 22. OAM, the taller man by 2 inches, but Tsarukyan, the longer fighter, at least in terms of the arms, he'll have a reach advantage of 2 inches. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 13 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Krasnodar, Russia, by way of Phuket, Thailand, Arman Ahakalakes Tsarukyan. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 12 wins, 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of St. Bruno de Martinville, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Olivier, the Canadian gangster, Aubin-Mercier. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Well, Joe Rogan gives you a nickname. You run with it. The Canadian Gangster now has the Canadian Gangster podcast, but it's in French. I said I'd listen. My French is not very good. Ariane Celeste is here. Brittany Palmer, Brooklyn Wren. Just about ready to go with round 1 of a possible 3 between Olivier Aubin-Mercier, who is in red, and Arman Tsarukyan, who is in white. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, in theaters August 2nd. And by the way, OAM, 12th UFC appearance, he said Tsarukyan is the best opponent I've ever faced in the UFC. So
I would agree with him. And I think on the feet is where Tsarukyan is going to have a big advantage. Aubin-Mercier is a spectacular grappler. But look at this. Arman is the one who shoots for the takedown first. Look at him. Oh, really compromised that knee there. That was a bad position for it. Mercier turns him around.
Aubin Mercier out of his pad in the southpaw stance, goes high. Sargon catches the kick.
And we saw a lot of this in the Makhachev fight, a lot of scrambles from Arman. We saw, for a young kid, a very high-level and composed game with just an excellent repertoire of skills. His arsenal is like very, very diverse. And it's one of the reasons why so many people are so excited about him. It's because not that he does anything well, but he does everything well.
Right. Master of sport and wrestling and mixed martial arts, but again, one of these, you know, fighters born in the mid-1990s who was mixing the martial arts very early on in his combat sports career. OAM able to squirm out, just over 3 minutes here to go in the round. Axe kick there. Sarukyan controlling the dance here early on.
Oh, he ate that knee. Nice timing on that knee by Aubin Mercier. Oh, and good kick there as well. Sarukyan does a really good job of catching that leg, cranking on that knee and lifting it up high.
Yes, put pressure on that knee, pressure on that knee. Beautiful, that's our skill.
Arman able to drag OAM down to the canvas here.
Wrist control, wrist control. Beautiful, pressure on that knee, pressure on that knee.
Arman trying to get to the back of Aubin Mercier. Olivier being very calm here, waiting for his moment. He got his right leg back under him, but immediately Sarukyan made the adjustment, brought him back down again, but now Olivier's back up on his feet, and Arman immediately drags him to the ground.
Man, there just aren't a lot of guys physically who can do this to Aubin Mercier. Under 90 seconds here to go round one.
He's trying to get to the back here. He's getting a little low. The kid is very technical for someone who's just 22 years old. He doesn't have a weak position. I mean, his stand-up is technical, his ground. He doesn't have like holes in his game, which you would expect.
Well, at first, Aubin Mercier said, I didn't love the matchup. You're talking about a guy who's 0-1 in the UFC, and then he started watching film, and he said, man, you know, with all the big names on my resume that I fought, Evan Dunham, Alexander Hernandez, Gilbert Burns, this is the best guy, skill for skill, that I've faced, and thus a big opportunity.
Yeah, it's because of the extreme respect that people have for Islam Makhachev. He's really working hard to try to get to the back here of Aubin Mercier. And Olivier being very patient, recognizing the danger of this position.
Nice knees by Sarukyan.
There's real power to those.
Well, this fence is getting a good workout early tonight. Big elbow from Arman.
Okay, good job. Good job.
So here's Aubin Mercier connects with a little bit of shin, a little bit of knee there, but it was a really good shot. And there's a jab by Aubin Mercier. And here's the body kick that got caught, and he got taken down. I think the most significant strike of the fight was clearly that knee. It looked like Arman.
But I need more forward, the plus. Okay? The kicks go a little bit higher. Okay? He's catching back a little. Okay? Some more feints. The knee was beautiful. The head kick was beautiful. You heard him. He's frustrated on that. That's why he's desperate.
Travail circulaire. On va pas à la cage.
Move.
Okay, on reste loin de la
Move
cage.
around.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Get this round.
Circle.
Next Saturday, top flight welterweight contenders collide in New Jersey. Former interim champ Colby Covington versus the former undisputed champ Robbie Lawler. You can watch the entire event live and exclusively on ESPN. Special start time, main card 3 p.m. Eastern. Prelim coverage begins at noon. You can see the card wall to wall on ESPN. All right, round 2 here. Olivier Aubin-Mercier getting instructions there from Richard Ho and Firas Zahabi.
Armand's throwing heat. Aubin-Mercier's got a powerful left leg.
Yeah, that kick was authoritative for the Canadian underdog. Good entry by Tsarukyan. Good balance by Aubin-Mercier.
Let's see if Aubin-Mercier can defend now. He does. Circles out. Nicely done. And let's see if he can turn this around and perhaps bring Armand to the ground.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Good trip, but look at the recovery by Armand.
There's the takedown defense thus far. Tsarukyan just 1 for 7.
And because of the fact that Tsarukyan stands in that orthodox stance, it opens up that kick from the southpaw stance of Aubin-Mercier. And there it is. There it is again, to the body. Oh, now he went to the knee. That was a hard shot. He may have hurt him there. Oh, he hit him hard there, to the face. He's in trouble. That was a big shot. Aubin-Mercier just tried to get to the back, but Armand sensed it and got a hold of the leg.
OAM wise to try to get back to the feet. We'll see if Armand has recovered.
Olivier, he's got to be careful going to the well one too many times with that kick, especially because he's not setting it up with punches. Armand knows it's coming now. Let's see if he's got an answer for it.
Under 2.5 now here to go, round 2.
Armand landed that one, but I think it went low. There it is again. That's definitely the biggest striking weapon in Olivier's arsenal.
Yeah, he's throwing it with more conviction tonight, as has been the case in the past. Tsarukyan enters again here.
Well, once he hurt him in the first round, I think he knows that's his best shot. And I think he's been surprised by Armand's grappling, which is usually Olivier's suit.
Right.
That's his strong suit. But Armand is neutralizing him. You got to think that in the first round, the amount of time that Armand controlled him and was behind him, was trying to take him down, and forced Olivier into a defensive position, that's got to ring on the judges, even though Olivier did hurt him.
Yep, I would agree. Tsarukyan now unofficially 1 for 9 on his takedown attempts. Caught OAM on the way in with a left hand there.
Yeah, he's trying to time it now because he knows it's coming, and Olivier's not setting it up with punches. There it is. Woo!
Beautiful.
Steam on that. Armand with a spinning back kick attempt.
1 minute now to go, round 2. Good job by Aubin-Mercier to raise that left hand.
Yeah. Oh, he went with an uppercut that time. Beautiful adjustment by Armand. And that just shows you his IQ, his fight IQ is very high.
Incredible, 22.
Got clipped there with that right hook, though. And Armand just ate a jab as well.
Aubin Mercier gaining confidence on the feet. Nice head movement there by the Canadian. Again, attacking that body of Arman Tsarukyan.
But that time he set it up with the jab. He showed him the jab, but with no intention of hitting him with it. He was just trying to get him to react to it so he could launch that kick. And it was successful.
Final seconds of the second round. Tsarukyan throwing offense Aubin Mercier's way.
Tough round to score, folks.
Good job, Olivier.
And there you see a jab. And there's a big knee. You see him buckle there. Look at this again. Boom. And you see his legs give out there. That was absolutely the most significant shot of the fight. And there's a good left hand that caught Olivier trying to throw that left kick naked.
Tu as fait mal 2 fois, Olivier.
You hurt him.
Tu as fait mal 2 fois.
2 times.
Tu as fait mal aucune fois.
He didn't hurt you. No time.
Stay short. When you trade with him, stay short. Okay? Reste à sa taille. Eye level. You don't need to shoot right away. Okay? Don't need to shoot right away, but we need this strong. We need to finish strong. Okay? Go, guys.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
Who knows how they scored this, but this very well could be 1-1 going into this third and final round.
Arman Tsarukyan trying to secure that first UFC win tonight. Turned pro back in 2015. Oh, big right hand early for the Georgian.
Another one. And look at that. Feinted with the right and then dropped down for the single.
Nice left hand from Arman Tsarukyan.
Good 1-2 attempt there from Olivier.
Arman is just constantly offensively fighting. Oh, nice knee from the Canadian there. Now Aubin Mercier closes the distance.
And Olivier working very hard here. Try to secure a takedown of his own, which he's been unable to do in this fight so far. But not for lack of trying. Almost had it, winds up on the bottom. But he might not he might not mind this. He's very good offensively off of his back.
Tsarukyan staying heavy on top here, under 3.5 to go.
Well, if he could get off some damage here and just maintain this position, it's very difficult to score for Olivier. Now, for Olivier, it's imperative that he threaten for the bottom, or at least do something to get back up to his feet. He can't just lay here in full guard. If he does, he's gonna lose the fight. He's got to do something offensively off of his back. And Tsarukyan is giving him some opportunities. He's putting his hands on the mat.
Brief attempt there to try to get out by Aubin Mercier, but seems content to play off of his back here. A couple nice elbows.
Good elbows from the bottom by Aubin Mercier.
Those may have served to wake up Arman, who is trying to get his ground and pound going now.
But Olivier's not going to win this fight with elbows off of his back. He's going to have to do something else.
Improve the position. Let's work.
And Mark Cotter's not impressed with it either. Arman trying to pass over that right leg.
2 minutes. Sarukyan trying to posture up and land that left hand.
Olivier's got to be desperate here. He cannot keep this position. He's got to get up. He's got to get feet on the hips. He's got to push him off. He's got to do something where there's a scramble and he has the opportunity to get back up to his feet. Because if he stays here, he will lose.
Well, and he's working very close to his corner. You wonder what the message is there.
He's looking for a triangle, but look, Armand just shakes it off. Again, this kid doesn't have any weaknesses.
And he can keep a serious pace up.
Oh, arm triangle attempt here from the bottom, not good. Too slippery too. He gave it a shot, but Armand very aware of it, but they're both so greased up right now with sweat.
Oh, nice elbow.
Yeah, he's being active from the top. He does not want this to be stood up.
Busy, guys.
Because
keep working, please.
With 50 seconds to go, if he could just stay here, he's most likely going to secure a decision.
And to your point, if you're OAM in a close fight, 40 seconds to go, you've spent the bulk of this third round on your back. You got to go.
Yeah, you got to take a chance of being submitted or do something where you're gonna lose on a decision. The only way you're gonna possibly win is to put yourself in a position where you might get submitted. He's got to make a scramble. He's got to let go of that guard and try to push him off, try to get feet on the hips, or try to sweep. But this is not going to do anything. They're not going to stand him up. And now he's in half guard.
All right, so there it is. OAM and Armand Sarukyan go the distance. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, a bold character since 1872.
There's that big head kick earlier. He caught him with a little bit of knee and a little bit of shin there and rocked him. And this was probably the biggest shot of the fight. That knee made his legs give out. But the third and probably the most critical round of the fight was all Armand. Olivier really didn't get much off there. He made an attempt at a takedown, but Armand reversed the position and stayed on top for the remainder of the round. Big, big round for Armand.
Sarukyan certainly believes he has done enough to win the fight tonight. Olivier Aubin-Mercier, 12th UFC appearance for him. Began his 2018 with a performance of the night winning finish of Evan Dunham. Back-to-back unanimous decision losses to Alexander Hernandez and Gilbert Burns, and trying to avoid a third straight setback tonight against the 22-year-old talent Armand Sarukyan. The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile and never miss a knockout with their reliable network and unlimited data. Now for the scorecards, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Arman Ahakalakes Sarukyan.
So Sarukyan gets his first UFC win. He has now won 13 of 14 overall. He's your winner by unanimous decision tonight. All right, as we move on, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Now, for a while, Jeff Neal put off his martial arts pursuits to play football, but since MMA has had his focus, he's been a real problem for opponents. Tonight, Neal can go 4-0 to begin his UFC team. Emerges from tonight's bout between Jeff Neal and Nico Price. Could find himself with a number next to his name on Monday.
I'm someone who can go up in the welterweight division pretty quick because my style is different. No one has what I have. When I get in there, it's different. You ain't never fought nobody like me.
I'm the guy that's going to rise to the ranks because I like to go out there and knock people out, you know. Some fighters are scared to go out there and put it all in line, but I'm not.
One of the most promising graduates from any season of the Contender Series, Jeff Neal is now on the verge of the top 15 after 3 UFC wins over Brian Camozzi, Frank Camacho, and Bilal Muhammad. And make no mistake about it, Hands of Steel is thinking big as he heads into the second half of 2019.
I feel like my future's really bright. Sky's the limit, you know. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. And tonight I'm going to put on a show and show the world what I'm about.
In a little less than 3 years, Florida's Nico Price has gone from raw talent to dynamic finisher at 170 pounds. And his spectacular wins over Tim Means, Randy Brown, Alan Jouban, and Brandon Thatch have served to prove no matter where a fight goes, the hybrid is ready, willing, and able to produce.
My potential in the UFC is to be a champion, and I will have that. And everybody just don't blink.
Okay, now check. I'm forced to be reckoned with. 10 years from now, they gon' be asking how they slept on us. My man is man, somebody getting swept on this. I'm seeing red, man, I should've gotten this. Marching with the force of 1,000 suns. Build your walls, watch me break them down the drums. I can fit the crown you wear right around your thumb. You got a small mind.
All right, so here he is, the inimitable Nico Price. Megan, he is fond of saying his fight style is his call-out, and when you fight like this guy, you get featured bouts on pay-per-views against guys like Jeff Neal. We'll see if Price can maximize the showcase tonight.
Yeah, he loves fighting so much. It gets him so excited just to even talk about a matchup. He starts bouncing around. You can feel his energy. He's like, I get jittery when I speak about my opponent because I love this so much. We spoke about the fact that his last fight was against Tim Means, that first round finish. And I said, hey, you have some momentum going into this run. And he literally said to me, yeah, momentum's cool, I just like fighting.
Yeah,
this is all he wants to do with his life. You know, I asked him about the spot on the pay-per-view, and he really believes that the UFC put him in this position for a reason. He believes this fight is going to be a great one, and he said, if you're putting me before the Chris Cyborg fight, then you know I'm going to put on a show and get people excited for what is to come in the co-main and main event.
Well, he is a wild man, and this is the fight that I've been looking forward to. Other than the main event, this is my second favorite fight on the card because Nico is a wild man and Jeff Neal is a streaking prospect with ridiculous power. This is really interesting to me because, of course, having Nico Price just beat Tim Means and having Neal just beat Bilal Muhammad, these two guys are both in excellent positions and they're fighting for a really important spot in the top 10 lineup.
Nico Price said he believes Jeff Neal will be surprised by his athleticism. He said, I'm white lightning. We'll see if he can get it going tonight against Jeff Neal. Nico Price doesn't care about the top 15. He wants the bell to win tonight. Would certainly be a step in that direction. Well, you can argue this is Fortis MMA's best hope for UFC glory as you see Saif Saud, the head coach of Jeff Neal, walking in behind his pupil. And you can't find anybody in this sport who has a bad word to say about Jeff Neal. He's won 5 consecutive fights, a perfect 3-0 start in the UFC, never misses practice, an absolute workhorse, and a pleasure to watch on the feet.
He's got tremendous character, and what you see inside the octagon is the fruits of labor, of work ethic, of his intelligence, his commitment and focus, and his technique is sharp as a razor. He's a really interesting guy to watch fight. He capitalizes on little tiny split-second mistakes and openings, and he does so with spectacular power. He is a real prospect, and a victory over a guy like Bilal Muhammad, who's so well-rounded and diverse, really shows you how good this guy is. So I'm really interested in seeing this fight because Nico Price is so wild, so unpredictable, and just so game. I mean, and he just stays in the pocket and just is willing to trade and just takes all these wild, crazy chances, and those chances pay off all the time. Jeff Neal's a different fighter, but equally compelling, maybe even more so.
Jeff Neal with a hug for his head coach, Saif Saud. This fighter description brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3, now available in EA Access on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Subscribe and play now for $4.99 a month. 4-0 UFC knockdown ratio for Jeff Neal, who has yet to attempt a takedown in the UFC, in some part because he hasn't had to. But he has acknowledged Nico Price is a hard guy to prepare for, namely because you really got to prepare for everything.
You got to prepare for war. Nico Price is not playing anything safe. I mean, that guy hits on 20. That's who he is.
Yes. Hoping for that ace, but Jeff Neal, a prohibitive betting favorite here tonight. He has made so many strides in a short amount of time, in about 2 years since we saw him on Dana White's Contender Series. Jeff Neal making his 4th UFC appearance tonight. As we lay out for the tail of the tape, Jeff Neal, 28 years old. His fellow American Nico Price is 29. Price 1 inch taller. He will have a 1 inch edge in reach. All right, now for the particulars, back inside of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 13 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Cape Coral, Florida, USA, Nico the Hybrid Price. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Dallas, Texas, USA, Jeff Hands of Steel Neal. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Mergliotta.
Dan Mergliotta going to need those fast feet tonight, potentially. Brooklyn Wren. Thank you, dear. Here we go. For a lot of people, Joe Rogan included, this was among the fights that really jumped off the card tonight. Jeff Neal.
All right, you ready, sir? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Fortis MMA Southpaw is in the white trunks. Nico Price is in black. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, in theaters August 2nd.
Nico's got to be real careful to not stand right in front of Jeff Neal, because the strikes will come with lightning speed.
Price feels like perhaps, excuse me, Joe, his best asset is his vision in there, but a lot of things going to be coming his way tonight on the feet.
Yeah, and Jeff Neal's measuring him right now. He's throwing little feints. You can see it. He's looking to see where he's going to be open, gauging his movement, trying to put it all in the computer, and then unload with some solutions.
There's a little bit of a misconception on Nico Price. As creative as he is, he's very technical, not necessarily unorthodox on the feet, despite all the different weapons in his arsenal.
Yeah, he's very technical. He's just also wild. Wild and creative, and very confident in his knockout power. The Randy Brown fight was crazy. To get a knockout from that position is just madness.
And there's Jeff Neal's first takedown as a UFC fighter.
He's got him down, he's got his back, and he's got an arm under his chin. This is not good for Nico. Nico's in a terrible position here. All Jeff has to do, let go of it. Jeff decided to try to reverse the position instead of trying to finish that choke. And look how he's using that right hook. See how he's got that butterfly hook on Nico's leg? Make sure that Nico doesn't advance the position. And now he turns and he's got his back. Good head control by Jeff. Looking for openings for that left hand. Notice how he's trying to hide it behind his back. Good wrist control by Jeff Neal. And he breaks free. Look at that, straight right here, like a laser beam.
Somebody's bleeding somewhere. Looks like it's on that left elbow of Jeff Neal.
Nico looking for that head kick, looking for the knee in the clinch. Good front kick to the body by Nico.
Price starting to get some of those long-range weapons going. Two fights ago, Price aligned with his original MMA coach, Mike Nowling, who started with him as an amateur. And they have really been impressed with Nico's maturity of late. Guy who keeps himself ready to go 45 or so weeks a year.
Ooh. That straight left is just money. by Jeff Neal. Nico looking for the takedown there. Neal defends.
Neal staying strong and heavy here in the clinch. Price's corner calling for him to fight for an underhook. Seconds to go in the round. Nice combination from Neal. Price returns fire.
Good high kick.
Ooh.
He might have stunned him. Oh! He's hurt. Nico's mounting him. Jeff's in big trouble.
We'll see if Price tries to posture up.
Nico's trying to cover his breathing. Jeff got stunned there. He got really hurt there, John.
Yeah, it looked like there was a clash of heads in there as well. I thought for a second we might get a double knockout. Less than a minute here to go in the round. We will see how Jeff Neal responds to the early adversity tonight.
Oh, big right hand by Nico.
Neal with a looping left as he gets back to his feet. Jeff Neal corner calling for a takedown.
He gets the takedown. Nicely done by Jeff Neal. He's got his back. He's got him flattened out. Terrible for Nico. And Jeff's mounting him here.
Way for Jeff Neal to close the round.
What a round. Look at that, helps him up to his feet. That's what I was talking about, his character.
Dropped you, but listen, I still think you won the round. Listen to me, Jeff. Listen, he's making it a brawl. He's not very strong, is he? Yeah. When you take him down, you can control him, but if you're going to take him down, you got to control him. You can't keep standing and banging with him. That's the only chance that he has. You're making it crazy, and you're getting tired, and you're staying right in front of Yazi. You're hitting him with one left hand and one right hand. You can't do that. You either got to move around or put him on his back.
Look at this. Boom. Oh, so it was the headbutt, really, that hurt Jeff. So look at this. No, the left hand as well. It was both things. This is crazy. What a crazy shot. I'd like to look at that in another angle. And here's the takedown by Jeff. Here it goes. Boom. The one that stunned Jeff looked like it was partly a left hand and partly a headbutt. There's no doubt about that it did clash heads and that did play a factor.
And you wonder if the judges, even though replay is not in effect, is cheating one of those monitors to see how that knockdown happened. The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable under law. Round two. Nico Price, Jeff Neal. Price in black, Neal in white.
Oh, good job with the kick. Jeff landed a good left hand. Oh, there's the brawl. That's what Jeff's corner was telling him to not get into. Don't get into a brawl with him, and he's in one. Guillotine.
Price trying to choke out Jeff Neal.
He doesn't have guard. He does not have guard. He's trying to hold on the neck. He can easily get, he can get Von Flue choked here. If he keeps holding on to that neck, he's gonna get Von Flue choked. He let go of the neck. But he's inside control now.
Well, at times when Nico Price starts getting tuned up, he really flurries and hurts his opponent. Tim Means can attest to that.
Oh, he's got him flattened out here. Okay, now Nico's moved it into half guard. Now full guard. Good job by Nico Price. Jeff Neal trying to give his corner a heart attack.
It would not be a Nico Price fight without wild exchanges on the feet. And let us check in with Saif Saud in that corner of one, Jeff Neal.
Pass! Pass, Jeff!
He's gonna go
feet on the hips. Up and past, Jeff. Good. Nice.
There you go.
Oh, big shots from, oh, he's hurt. Nico's hurt bad. His arms looked like they were going limp there with one of those shots.
Price desperately trying to control posture. Still plenty of time to go in this round.
Jeff Neal can generate some serious power even from the guard. Oh, man. His corner's screaming for him to pass. Don't just fight from inside the guard, but he's landing good shots from here. You hear they keep yelling out pass, but man, those are big shots from the guard. He's gonna finish it from here.
That's it. Jeff Neal stops Nico Price tonight. And Nico, not at all happy, but immediately shows his respect to Jeff Neal, who is still perfect 4-0 now in the UFC. Said, God, I hate you.
Man, what a heartbreaker of a stoppage for Nico Price, but he was eating some bombs.
Okay, 2 minutes, 39 seconds, TKO. Oh, you got the time, sorry.
All right, this fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
And here's that flurry. Look, he got his leg kicked out from under him. White was landing a punch and then just decided to go ham. Both guys just throwing wild punches, but this is Nico Price's world. He lives for chaos like this. And boom, he landed a good shot there. But this is the end of the fight. Jeff Neal on top. And there was a couple times where he connected earlier where it looked like Nico's arms might have went limp.
Right.
Just briefly. Boom, right there. See, and these are big shots, man. And Jeff is just teeing off on him. And the referee is recognizing it too. It might have been a little bit premature, that stoppage, but he was landing. He was landing big, significant shots. I mean, you could have let him land one more, or you could have let Nico scramble to try to recover, because at the end, he sprung right back up to his feet. He was pretty pissed.
Yeah, it looked like Nico thought about protesting to Dan Mergliata, but decided to take the high road.
Dan's one of the best referees in the game, and if he called it, it's because he didn't like what he was seeing.
That is a huge win for Jeff Neal, and you can be sure he's going to be ranked when those welterweight rankings come out next week. The official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile and never miss a knockout with their reliable network and unlimited data. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 39 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Jeff Hands of Steel Neal.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Jeff Neal. Jeff, that was a wild one.
Yeah, it was a wild one. I really kind of expected that fight Nico, so it was all expected.
There were some moments where your corner was kind of pleading with you to not brawl with him.
Yeah.
But there were some moments in exchanges where you had gotten hit and you just unloaded.
Because he's hard to hit without him hitting you back, so it's like I can't get more than one shot without him throwing shots back at me, so I just said, fuck it, let's throw some punches.
Well, as a young and promising fighter like yourself, these are the kind of fights that you really learn from and that test you, and that definitely happened for you tonight.
Yeah, I think he dropped me twice, and I was able to put my wits together and get the fight where I wanted it.
It seemed that one of those was maybe possibly a headbutt combination with a punch, but let's take a look at the end. So you got him down, you're on top in guard, and you started landing some clean punches from the top. You saw his arms kind of going limp for a second.
Yeah, I seen that. I knew he was a couple more shots from being knocked all the way out. The ref stopped it before it got to that point, so good job on the ref, but I knew it was over then.
Congratulations on a spectacular performance, sir. Jeff Neal, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeff Neal with the biggest win of his career tonight, a finish of Nico Price. And Price is going to be a problem for a lot of these guys in the welterweight division. Neal passes the Nico Price test tonight, 6 straight wins and 10 of his last 11. All right, these locker room shots brought to the legacy, though, of Cyborg already secure, but she's still hungry for more, and that would mean her opponent, the undefeated Felicia Spencer, must be ready for anything tonight.
Chris Cyborg is a terrifying force in women's MMA. She's a destroyer.
It is all over. Chris Cyborg.
She has run roughshod through the competition for the better part of a decade.
Mamma mia, Cyborg!
Former Invicta FC champion, former Strikeforce champion, former UFC featherweight champion. Oh! Amanda Nunes!
I never say that I'm going to be invisible. This happened, you know, it's the fight game. When I did my first MMA fight, I lost my first fight. And after this day, I trained harder, and I stayed like 13 years undefeated. You know, if you keep fighting, I will have the opportunity to be the champion again. For sure, I'm going to work hard for it.
When Cyborg was fighting for Invicta, yeah, I remember all the people she was running through.
It is done!
And I was like, I just gotta get there.
Felicia Spencer trying to get her first pro win.
Get to that point where I can be allowed to stand in front of her.
That's it. Mike England's in enough. Felicia Spencer victorious.
Chris is a legend in the sport, so having a win over Chris is a huge achievement.
It is done. Felicia Spencer. This young featherweight in mixed martial arts continues to grow.
Yeah, I fought 6 times with Invicta and won the belt.
The next time, the Phenom is a new Invicta FC featherweight champion.
I had a plan to become a champion and then get signed in the UFC, and then it all kind of like played out exactly like it planned.
There's the tap. There's the tap.
Wow. Felicia Spencer into the UFC in a big way.
Look where I am, co-main event with Chris Cyborg, so like a dream in itself to fight her and then to beat her. I'm just excited to shock everybody.
You know, this makes it her dream, but you know, it's a lot of things going on for her dream coming true. I feel ready. I want to do my best I can, and I think it's going to be different after this fight. For sure, I'm going to get out that cage with the victory.
Born in Montreal, Felicia Spencer had never even been to the west side of Canada until this fight week. Her parents, Claire and Jimmy, are in the building tonight. As the youngest of 3 Spencer kids, Felicia makes the walk for the biggest fight of her professional life. And Joe, she handled fight week with all the confidence of somebody who had been there and done that, but you gotta think a lot of different emotions are running through that head of Felicia Spencer as she hits the inspection zone tonight.
I mean, she did a great job in defeating Megan Anderson, but Megan Anderson's ground game had already been exposed by Holly Holm. She's a great striker, but she has a problem going to the ground. That's where Felicia Spencer took her. Chris Cyborg's a different animal. First of all, she's won jiu-jitsu competitions. Her grappling is world-class. She's incredibly strong physically, and she's got brutal knockout power. For Felicia to win this fight, she's got to get it to the ground.
Yeah.
If she stands with Cyborg, she's in trouble.
This prep point is brought to you by Devour Frozen Foods. Bring home and bite into the octagon crust of their new line of extremely meaty and cheesy frozen pizzas.
Felicia's a strong woman, and she's a legitimate 145-pound fighter. I mean, she's not a girl who's coming up from 135.
Right.
She's big, and she's strong, and she's going to have all that tonight. The Cyborg's huge. I mean, you're talking about a woman who walks around north of 180 pounds and cuts down to 145. This weight class was really made for Chris Cyborg.
Yep.
And she is going to come into this fight really wanting to make a statement in order to set up another fight with Amanda Nunes.
Well, Felicia Spencer believes Chris Cyborg has her vulnerabilities. She just says she has to be patient tonight. Says a lot of people can't get me off of their back. We will see if she can take Cyborg's back tonight.
She just stole somebody's flag.
Yes, she did. The fan tried to pull it back, thought better of it. Representing the great nation of Brazil, here is the former UFC Women's Featherweight Champion, Cris Cyborg. And she felt like that loss to Amanda Nunes in some respects, Joe, was liberating, right? She had gone 13 years without experiencing a defeat in mixed martial art. She was forever the hunted, and we'll see. You know, Tyron Woodley spoke a lot about the loss to Kamaru Usman being liberating. We'll see if that affects her performance in a positive way tonight.
Well, that's making lemonade, right?
There you go.
You got to do what you got to do. Once you lose, you can't say this is the end. I'm nothing now.
Right.
You got to say, I've learned from this. I'm going to be better from this. And that's also championship mentality, which she most certainly has. But what she's got to do tonight is impose her strengths. And her strengths are her Muay Thai. Her striking is ridiculous. She's a mauler. She comes after you, she throws bombs, and as long as she fights technically, she should have a significant advantage. What Amanda Nunes managed to do is catch her in the openings as she tried to chase after her. She chased her down, Amanda found those openings, and Amanda has ridiculous power. And she exploited those holes that Cris Cyborg presented, and once Cyborg got hurt, then she really started swinging wild, and that's when Amanda put her away. I don't think Felicia has that same kind of power, but if Felicia can get her into exchanges and then manage to get her to the ground, Felicia could have an advantage there. But we don't even know that. We really don't know until they start grappling, because Cyborg is incredibly physically strong.
All right, with that backdrop, we have arrived at this co-main event here in Edmonton. Cris Cyborg, still just 34 years old, taking on the 28-year-old Felicia Spencer. Cyborg, the taller woman by 2 inches. Both fighters enter the octagon with an identical reach of 68 inches. All right, now for the particulars, back inside to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Presented by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. And EA Sports, UFC 3 is now available in EA Access on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Subscribe and play now for $4.99 a month. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record, 7 wins, no losses. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida, USA, by way of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Felicia Phenom Spencer. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, USA, by way of Curitiba, Brazil, presenting the former Strikeforce World Champion and the former UFC Featherweight Champion, Cris Cyborg. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Levine.
This will be an Yves Levine refereed affair, our co-main event. Brittany Palmer getting us started for round 1. Cris Cyborg making her first appearance of 2019 against the undefeated Felicia Spencer. Cris Cyborg is wearing the all black. Felicia Spencer wearing the white top with the blue trunks. Nemiroff bold character since 1872.
Felicia Spencer landing a couple of punches. The question is going to be whether or not she has the power to keep Cyborg off her. Cyborg landed a big shot and then a big head kick there. And Cyborg shook off that takedown attempt well. And so far, Cyborg's fighting technically. Oh, good counter right hand there by Cyborg.
Pretty good lead elbow from Spencer. Cut Cyborg open. Cyborg loading up.
Swinging. But Spencer with the clinch here. Let's see if she's able to, oh, nice knee by Cyborg. But now Spencer's closed in on her. Let's see if she's able to drag her to the ground. Wow, Cyborg is cut.
Yep.
Man.
Doesn't appear to be too bad a cut, but it was that elbow thrown by Spencer.
But it's enough. It's enough to make her think. It's enough to bring doubt. I mean, she's fighting a relatively unheralded fighter. And she's bleeding down her face now. It's getting in her eyes. And now she's stuck in the clinch with a woman who's a really experienced grappler.
And this is really what we were most curious to see. These exchanges, the clinch, the grappling, to see how strong or how the strength of Spencer would hold up.
And whether or not she's going to be able to secure the clinch. And she is able to secure it. Now she's got double underhooks. Nope. She briefly had double underhooks. She's struggling for some sort of position here where she can drag Chris to the ground. And Chris separates in a nice knee and a right hand. Oh! Big shots by Cyborg.
Spencer's chin has held up under the early flurry. About 2 minutes gone by round one.
And she's swinging back. She's looking for openings. I just don't know if she has the power to sting Chris. But if Cyborg moves, oh, beautiful leg kick. Beautiful leg kick.
Spencer's first martial art was Taekwondo, 4 years old. Yeah.
Those leg kicks are brutal by Cyborg.
Spencer does like to strike, but path of least resistance would certainly be to try to find a way to get this fight to the ground.
Well, I think she likes to strike with anybody who's not Cyborg.
Yeah.
This is the first time she's ever fought anyone even remotely as powerful as her. But she's got to take some sort of comfort in the fact that she's already cut her.
Sure.
And she's absorbed big shots, and she's still here. Cyborg has already done a lot of damage with those leg kicks. And then she goes high. Oh, she tags her with the right hand.
Spencer's eating a lot of those big right hands. Largely the chin is held up under 2 minutes in the round.
And good elbow there by Spencer. Spencer is tough, man. She is taking some shots.
Spencer 7-0 coming in here tonight, representing the Jungle. Head coach Mike Lee. Seth Petrozelli, also a huge part of Spencer's camp.
Oh, man. Spencer can't stand in front of Cyborg. Not with those big shots coming her way. And Cyborg's doing a great job of mixing it up. The head into the body, into the legs.
Spencer tried to change levels there.
She's trying to get the clinch. Oh, man, nice knee to the body by Cyborg. But at least Spencer's got her up against the cage here. Good head control by Spencer. Oh, nasty knee to the body by Cyborg. Look at that, trying that elbow, that no-see elbow. Trying to wrap up that leg and drag her to the ground. Not quite, not quite. Oh, another good knee to the body by Cyborg.
Cyborg using that gap between the canvas and the fence to her advantage as she tries to stay upright.
And here's another thing to take into consideration. Cyborg cuts a lot of weight to get down this 145-pound division. She'd probably be happy if they had a 165-pound division. And that's not a joke.
Right. And Felicia Spencer said the back-to-back weight cuts after having fought Megan Anderson May 18th really helped her this time around. Knee to the body from Cyborg.
You gotta wonder if Felicia Spencer is still here.
Right.
How much can Cyborg, how long can she do this? She already looks really tired. Look, she's sitting down. Cyborg looks exhausted.
Sorry, Robbie. Breathe, blow it out. Slow this down.
No water on her head.
Here. Breathe it. Listen, slow yourself down. Listen, relax. Put yourself back here. Relax, all right? Remember what we're focused on. We're staying with the jab, all right? We're moving, all right? You get emotional out there. You got mad when you got clipped with that punch. Don't worry about that. Keep circling. Don't get mad and go running in with your head up in there. We know we don't do that anymore, right?
And here's the cut. Look at this. Boom. Nasty elbow. And here's Cyborg on the rampage. Just punch after punch.
Let's go, seconds
Knees
out.
to the body.
Out, guys. Out.
Chopped at those legs with the
Go,
kicks.
go, 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 go.
Nasty leg kicks by Cyborg.
Center, please. Thank you.
Beautiful elbow by Cyborg. Great clinch work. But she's coming into this round tired.
UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar is brought to you by the official frozen meal of UFC. Never just eat, devour.
Fight, second round.
Jason Perillo with some strong words there for Chris Cyborg after round one. Felt like she allowed her emotions to play a part in those first 5 minutes.
Well, she looked exhausted sitting on that stool, and she has a huge cut. Ooh. Look at that, though. She caught the kick. Spencer is tough.
She's ready to go tonight for sure.
I mean, this is a very physically strong woman, too, because she's able to initiate this clinch over and over and over again, and if she can eventually get Cyborg down, look, she's making Cyborg work. Cyborg's tired here. Like, look at her, big, deep breaths, mouth open, and Spencer's all over her.
Again, going to that no-look elbow. Spencer certainly dictating the action here, appears to be the fresher fighter. Loud, let's go Spencer chants raining down here at Edmonton.
Yeah, we don't know if Cyborg can really go 5 rounds like this. And we don't know what her confidence is like coming off of that starching from Amanda Nunes. Sure. Which was not that long ago.
And one of the things you said early on tonight, Felicia Spencer as a natural featherweight. We didn't know how the strength, the size would hold up, but she is certainly giving Cyborg a lot of things to think about and handle in these clinch spots.
Yeah, she's already showing how durable she is. But she can't let Cyborg tee off on her. Cyborg still has knockout power. This is where she can win this fight. Wearing Cyborg out in the clinch and eventually getting her to the ground.
Spencer really believes if she can get to the back of Chris Cyborg, she can submit her.
She dragged her to the ground. She did that on purpose. She pulled guard, but Cyborg's on top, dropping bombs on her. Ooh. Spencer's got to get out of there. Oh, good up kick by Spencer. Cyborg didn't like it. Kicking at the legs.
Oh, big right hand from Cyborg.
Big shots by Cyborg, and Spencer's head stuck. Look at Cyborg putting her knee on Spencer's face.
Spencer still holding on to that left wrist of Chris Cyborg.
Good knee to the body on the ground by Cyborg. Spencer's trying to go for an omoplata here, but she doesn't really have the leg high enough on the shoulder for it to be really effective. She's barely holding that leg, that arm in place by squeezing her legs together. She's gonna let her stand that up.
Huge response from the crowd under 2 minutes here, round 2. Felicia Spencer eats a big left hand there, but she is certainly proving herself worthy of this fight and ready for prime time.
She's got to stay in Cyborg's face. She's got to keep her foot on the gas. Because Cyborg's taking her time here. She's trying to recover. She caught her with a punch there.
Yep, nice little combination from Spencer.
Also, you got to wonder about Cyborg's confidence here, now that Spencer's still eating her best shots. Spencer has absorbed bombs from her, and she's still there. Still there and still trying to win, so Cyborg has to think she's got to preserve her energy. She's got 3 more rounds of this after this round is over.
Just one tonight,
Excuse me, that's right, I'm thinking it's a championship fight. Too bad.
Been a long time, right? I know. Can you imagine? Nice left hand from Felicia Spencer. Less than a minute here to go, round 2. Cyborg went 5 rounds with Holly Holm, December 2017. That was her first distance fight since 2008. She is getting extended tonight by Felicia Spencer.
Man, that girl can take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
She just looks undeterred. Nice knee by Cyborg.
Final 10 seconds.
Cyborg's getting more comfortable on the feet. Oh, Superman punch.
And that snaps Spencer's right back. 10 minutes down.
Wow. Man, I wish this was 5 rounds.
All right, we need to take out. You need to start souping. That was your best thing. That's how you hit her with that elbow.
Take a deep breath. That's what I'm talking to.
So relax. You need to hit a soup. You need to push her. So even if you're not trying to take her down with the drop, you need to push her back with the sled. You need to keep her on the cage for this round.
Yes.
I liked your C last time, but let's not get you on your back anymore. You went after submissions and you landed more strikes. We don't know who they've given these rounds to. You need to dominate this third round and go for the finish. If you see something flying, you can try it. If you need something,
and something in front of it, all right? And just keep that jab going, leg kick and circling. Jab kick, leg kick, circle. All right?
Excellent. Keep the jab going. Simple punches. Jab cross. Follow with the leg kick. Inside and outside. Okay. 5 minutes, Chris. We're good. Right? Keep the pace. If you get on top, we stay on top.
Let's go. Focus. You got the energy.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. If you had Cyborg by stoppage in round 1 or 2, time to rip up those tickets. And that is a pretty significant cut, about 2 inches on the forehead of Chris Cyborg. Spencer might need that mouthpiece. But I like the message, Joe, from Mike Lee in the corner of Felicia Spencer. Really want her to pursue the finish here in this third and final round. Cyborg opens round 3 with a lower leg kick. Nice dirty boxing from Chris.
Beautiful inside leg kick by Cyborg. The difference in the striking is so huge. It's just, I think Cyborg severely compromises herself to make this weight class. And I just don't know if her body holds up.
Cyborg really looking sharp here early round 3. Spencer unofficially 0 for 6 on her takedown attempts in the fight.
Spencer just with a bum rush here. Big knees and a good punch by Cyborg.
Cyborg was ready for that entry. Made Spencer pay.
It's crazy how much Spencer's been able to absorb, though.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the difference between a real featherweight and a blown-up bantamweight.
Nice jab from Cyborg.
Spencer trying to fire back, but the punches just don't have the same impact.
Right. Unofficially.
Oh! Caught her in the face.
Spencer loves to kick, landed a significant one there. Big advantage in terms of significant strikes landed for Chris Cyborg, 79-30.
Nasty knees to the body by Cyborg. It's crazy how she just absorbs those.
Yeah, she hasn't drawn so much as a wince out of Felicia Spencer.
Yeah, she is tough because those are hard knees.
Nice short shot there by Cyborg.
Spencer working really hard to try to secure a takedown, but Cyborg controlling it. Look at that knee to the body by Cyborg. Another one. Nasty punch. Big elbow. Big punch. Cyborg looking for the clinch here. But look, Spencer just not giving up.
Oh, her stock goes through the roof, win or lose tonight.
Yeah, she's firing back. I mean, look, Cyborg with those brutal knees to the body of the clinch.
Amanda Nunes has said she wants to defend the featherweight title next. Perhaps it'll be a rematch against Cyborg. Will it be Felicia Spencer? Under 2 minutes now to go.
By Cyborg.
Beautiful.
Good jab by Spencer. The blood's coming out the nose of Cyborg. Woo! 1-2.
Cyborg managing risk well here late, but still staying offensive. Big third round for the former champion.
Spencer trying to use that elbow again.
What a great fight. Cyborg again goes low and lands.
Excellent low kick. She's landed so many of those, and yet it doesn't seem to have any effect.
She continues to attack that Spencer body to great effect. Now power shots up top.
Big kick to the body. But again, Spencer just absorbs it. I mean, those have got to hurt, but yet you're not seeing any sign of retreat from her. Big shot by Cyborg.
Final 10
Nasty
seconds.
Leg kick.
Oh.
Woo, haymaker.
Right
Shot
back
to the body. Oh, she stung her with that one. And another leg kick. Oh, head kick.
Chris Cyborg with a 10-8 in all likelihood in round 3 as she goes the distance with a very game Felicia Spencer tonight.
Emphatic end to that round by Cyborg. But man, even under a loss, Spencer's stock goes up.
All right, a lot of action for the replay, guys. Let us look back at it. This fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872.
And here's the elbow that cut her. Look at this. Just slashed across the forehead, opened up a huge gash. And Cyborg with these nasty leg kicks. It's really impressive the way she mixed things up. Beautiful Superman punch there. Her knees to the body were excellent. I'm just almost equally impressed by the ability to endure punishment that Spencer had. That woman is very tough because Cyborg put it on her multiple times in that fight, and she kept coming after her.
A lot of people felt like if Felicia Spencer was going to spring the upset tonight, she had to find a way to take Chris Cyborg down. She was unable to do so on 7 attempts. And another win in all likelihood to the extensive resume of one Chris Cyborg. The official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile and never miss a knockout with their reliable network and unlimited data. Scorecards are in. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Chris Cyborg.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the winner, Chris Cyborg.
No, with me.
No, I'm not. I'm with Jason Perillo, Chris Cyborg's coach, who's equally happy.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, congratulations. Congratulations on a tough fight against a very, very game opponent in Felicia Spencer. Was there anything surprising about this fight to you?
You know, I trained really hard. I want to say hi for everybody coming here. Thank you, Felicia. I have my first cut, and I'm really happy. I'm just want to come back to the cage, do my job. Thank you, God, for bringing me here. I feel very blessed for being here.
You hit that girl with some big shots, both to the leg, to the body, to the head, but she kept coming forward. Was that surprising to you?
You know, the sport growing, gonna come better and better girls. I just make me happy because I start doing MMA, not have any girl. See girls in the cage, for me, make me proud.
Where do you go from here? After this victory, is your next goal to get another shot at Amanda Nunes?
You know, I'm gonna let UFC talk to my manager, but I just wanna get this victory at Fox, and of course on Amanda, for sure. I ask for rematch after that fight.
Congratulations to you. Enjoy your victory. We'll see you again. Chris Cyborg, ladies and gentlemen.
Chris Cyborg bouncing back in a big way tonight. She has won 11 of her last 12, and we will see if the rematch happens between Cyborg and the greatest of all time, the Lioness, Amanda Nunes. Well, we are at Rogers Place here in Edmonton tonight for UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar. The last time we were here, UFC 215, all the way back in 2017. And they are excited for this main event that is just about upon us. Back inside Rogers Place, it is time for the headliner for UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar, brought to you by the official frozen meal of UFC, Never Just Eat, Devour. Well, at 145 pounds, the best is still blessed, and as he draws the legendary Frankie Edgar tonight, you know Max Holloway is not resting on his laurels.
A lot of people, they think success is a straight line. No, success is not that at all. Success is something that you keep grinding for. It's a bumpy road getting there. The last fight didn't go our way.
Holloway had his moments, but Dustin Poirier exits the ATL as the new interim lightweight champion.
A champion is not judged by how he can handle the highs of the highs. True champion is someone who can see a low point in their life and they come right back up. I'm only 27, I'm only getting better. And guess what? 45 is still my division.
Let's go! The best featherweight king of all time, Max Holloway!
Hey, a king gotta defend his throne. Come see me!
Anthony Pettis, former 55 champion.
Holloway's pouring it on. He's melting, that's it.
Check. Jose Aldo.
Oh! Max Holloway knocks down Jose Aldo!
Former 45 champion twice.
That'll do it!
Check, check. Brian Ortega, so-called future of the division.
Oh! Ortega's hurt! Man, Max is relentless.
Check. If there's anyone left, come challenge.
Oh! Big knockdown for Edgar! Frankie Edgar by knockout!
When I went to featherweight, my goal's always been to be a champion. I've been chasing it for so long, you know. I had that title at lightweight. I held it for 2 years, and ever since I lost it, I've been gunning for another title.
The answer with a huge statement tonight!
Let's go, Holloway. I'm coming for that belt.
I think I'm a tough opponent because I'm different than the last several guys he's fought. No one mixes it up as well as I do.
Frankie Edgar is relentless like no one else in the UFC.
Win over Max Holloway means I'm the best in the world. Again, I'm gonna keep coming forward, break him, make him tired. Whatever I gotta do to win this fight, I'll get it done.
Frankie Edgar finishes the legend BJ Penn.
Frankie's one of those guys I was watching coming up. In my eyes, he's a Hall of Famer. But at the end of the day, he gotta get in the octagon with me.
Oh, he's hurt! The greatest featherweight of all time.
If I want to get this win, it's gonna take all of me and every little part of me. I'm willing to walk through hell to get this title.
Edgar looking for the finish! Maynard's in trouble!
I'm leaving, two-time champ, best in the world.
I want to be the best ever. That 25 minutes, I'm gonna put it all on the line. I'm gonna keep proving to you guys why the best is blessed.
Frankie Edgar making the jog for his 25th UFC appearance. Joe, his 9th UFC title fight. 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, you were in Abu Dhabi when he beat BJ Penn to become the UFC lightweight champion. Mark Henry says this is the most calm he has ever seen Frankie Edgar, but in Max Holloway, they are acutely aware of the challenge in front of them tonight.
I mean, this guy has had a long and storied career. When you really think about 2010 when he wins the title, and here we are in 2019 and he's challenging for the featherweight title, and the fact that he's fought and beaten so many top guys.
This prep point brought to you by Devour Frozen Foods. Bring home and bite into the octagon crust of their new line of extremely meaty and cheesy frozen pizzas.
And arguably, some of his most impressive victories have come at 45, particularly Yair Rodriguez and Cub Swanson. Two young, hungry guys, and he absolutely smashed both of them. The Yair Rodriguez fight was a real wake-up call for a lot of people that thought Yair was the future of the division. Frankie Edgar put him on his back and beat him senseless. And he did the same thing to Cub Swanson, was absolutely relentless, and then secured the finish with just a second to go in the final round. Frankie's an animal. His cardio's off the charts, his wrestling's excellent, his experience is second to none, and he believes now is his time.
And he said in the feature, he is willing to walk through hell to become a two-division UFC champion.
Well, welcome to hell, because this is the best featherweight of all time.
In the back, hand-me-downs with the patches. Mama put a little money in the matches. Taught me how to make it silver spoon out of plastic. You can even say, swim on be the captain. With the last word, I'ma bring the last laugh. Not a second that I'm body dressing so classy. I don't want my best dressed day in the casket. Long little
as special a human being as he is a fighter. Max Holloway making the third defense of his undisputed UFC featherweight championship here tonight. And to your point, Joe, when you're fighting this guy, it is hell week. We will see what Frankie Edgar has for him in a matter of moments.
Yeah, we didn't know how he was going to fare at 55. He fell short to one of the very, very best in the division in Dustin Poirier. But again, as he said himself, he's only 27 and he's still learning. And the point is, he's not a 55-pound fighter. He fought at 55. He's a 45-pound champion. And not just a champion, but the best champion ever. And a relentless striker. A guy who has the highest volume of strikes of anybody in the division. His cardio is off the charts, and he's incredibly well-rounded. He can win by submission, he can win by striking, he can win by stoppage, he can win by decision. And what we see from him is spectacular movement, understanding of distance, but also a willingness to engage in slugfests. The Lamas fight is a particularly interesting example where they pointed to the ground and he said, let's just do this right here, right now. Forget about all this movement, let's just throw down.
And a lot of people point to Ricardo Lamas as perhaps the best wrestler that Max Holloway has faced in this featherweight division. Frankie Edgar certainly takes that to another level with his ability to mix it all up. But on the feet, you know, Mark Henry has acknowledged this is the most dangerous guy he has ever had to prepare a fighter for. I mean, combination, it's like 20 strikes in the combination.
He's also going to be very, very intent on regaining the respect of the MMA community and the position of being one of the top pound-for-pound fighters after coming off of that decision loss. I guarantee you he's worked on whatever he felt like he was lacking in that fight, and he's going to be a better fighter coming in here tonight.
And there may be no more beloved American fighter here in Canada than Max blessed Holloway. First UFC main event for him in Saskatoon back in 2015. 3-0 is Holloway here in the UFC on Canadian soil. All right, here is your championship tale of the tape. Max Holloway, 27. Frankie Edgar, 10 years his senior. Holloway has the length and the height, 5 inches taller, but just a 1-inch reach advantage over Frankie Edgar tonight. All right, now for the main event introductions. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, presented by Devour, sanctioned by the Edmonton Combative Sports Commission. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are David Hagan, Chris Lee, and Tony Weeks. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. This championship bout is sponsored by Devour. Bring home and bite into the Octagon crust of their new line of extremely meaty and cheesy frozen pizzas. P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And Motel 6, when you're ready to tap out, check in and save. We'll leave the light on for you. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 22 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Toms River, New Jersey, USA, presenting the former UFC lightweight champion and the number 4 ranked featherweight contender in the world, the challenger, Frankie the Answer Edgar. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Waianae, Hawaii, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, the pride of Hawaii, Max Blessed Holloway.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. You're gonna keep it clean. Touch gloves, let's do it.
Nothing quite like a UFC championship main event, and we have a Canadian backdrop tonight. The tension is palpable. First shot at an undisputed title for Frankie Edgar since 2013. He will try to end the greatest streak in the history of this UFC featherweight division that belongs to Max Blessed Holloway. Frankie Edgar is in blue, Holloway is in the black and gold, befitting a champion. We are underway, round 1 of a possible fight.
And immediately you see the distance and the difference in length. Holloway much taller, much longer, much more reach. He's got that wide stance, probing with that jab. And he's a master of distance. It's one of the best things about his style.
Holloway got off to a little bit of a slow start against Dustin Poirier. He did not like that first round, but came on strong midway through. And you know, for Frankie Edgar, he wants to be the one moving forward tonight at all costs.
Well, Poirier just had really underrated boxing and superior firepower in that fight. But Holloway had his moments.
And an early left-hand connection for Frankie Edgar. Edgar's such a difficult guy to read. Doesn't telegraph anything. Hard to know if he's going to take you down or throw a combination.
He's just got to really close that distance, and that's the puzzle he's got to solve. It's gonna help with head movement, because if he can get Max to start missing him, Max will start reaching a little bit more, and that'll open up the opportunities for takedowns. But he's got to get Max to be a bit impatient and to take some chances. Both guys just trying to figure each other out right now.
Oh, nice uppercut from Holloway.
And that uppercut is what Brian Ortega caught Frankie with.
Right.
Frankie tends to keep his chin down and dip in.
2+ minutes gone by here, round one. We've seen just one takedown attempt from Frankie Edgar. Nicely done as he attacks that lead leg.
Yeah, that leg kick's gonna be big. He needs more of those.
Unlike the kicks to the thigh, oftentimes with those calf kicks, all it can take is one to change the complexion of a fighter or a fight.
It's amazing how effective those things can be if they rock the nerve.
Edgar trying to gain some respect with his hands here early on.
Oh, good right hand by Frankie.
Yep.
Over the top. Snuck that one in.
Holloway staying long, eyes fixed on the target.
Good right hand by Max. Perfect right hand. Caught Frankie moving into it.
Oh.
Very nice left to the body as well. Just capitalizing on those openings.
Yep. And there's a left hand over the top for Max Holloway, who is picking his spots well here. 90 seconds to go, round one.
There's that uppercut again. He's obviously watched that Ortega fight. Nice leg kick. Good right hand again by Frankie.
Edgar came in with more octagon time, 6 hours, 47 minutes than any fighter in UFC history. Oh, nice uppercut from Holloway. That snapped Frankie Edgar's head back.
Yeah, that uppercut is money. He's been using it over and over again here.
Edgar lands the jab. Again, going low and attacking that lead leg of Holloway.
Oh, Holloway with the head kick. And Frankie answers back.
Beautiful stick with the jab by Max Holloway. 5 minutes down.
Throw some more feints in there. You follow what I'm saying? You got to watch the step left. He's starting to catch on to you stepping left. He's throwing when you step left. He's looking for that 6. You follow what I'm saying?
Frankie, that low kick is there all day, man.
Let's start keeping feint shots to punches. You understand what I'm saying? You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Go ahead.
You got to touch his leg before you come up with it.
Yes, sir.
Remember, he comes with the left foot.
Yes, sir.
Right? So if you can touch, control the hand, and shift and follow.
Yes, sir.
Both sides now.
You
know what I mean, yeah?
I see it.
Right now, you're being so patient, but you're waiting a little bit for the perfect shot. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's not let him get away with like volume on us, yeah? Okay? He's confused. He's hoping for that hard step. Okay? All right, let's go, man. You gotta go.
Let's do this, man.
Let's go.
All right, Joe, we got to listen in. First, the replay.
And here's that super effective uppercut. And you see how he's using it right when Frankie leans towards. And there's a nice right hand by Holloway. There's that uppercut again. Frankie tends to lean forward at the hips.
Very rare to hear that Holloway corner have to call for more volume. They felt like he was trying to be a little bit too precise there round one.
Frankie's corner also emphasized that low kick. They were saying that low kick's there all day.
Yep.
It is effective for him, and the more he utilizes it, the more Max is going to have a hard time with all this movement. Ooh, nasty left to the body. Oh, he caught him with that right hand. Step to the side, caught him clean.
Left hand lands for Edgar.
Another nice leg kick for Frankie.
Holloway answers with a double jab, now an uppercut.
He's really looking for that uppercut.
I don't think Edgar's missed when he's gone low. Nice short right from Holloway out of the break. Well, right after the main event tonight, we will have a post-show live on ESPN+. I'll be alongside Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Melendez. We'll break it all down right after the main event. The UFC 240 post-show live on ESPN+.
Frankie shoots, almost gets him. Good defense by Max, frames him off, and gets free. Nicely done by the champ.
Yep, good sign for Holloway. He has stuffed the first two shots of Frankie Edgar.
That one was pretty deep, though.
Yep.
If he didn't bounce into the cage, it would have been interesting. Oh, good exchange by both men there.
Nice right hand there to close that combination for Max Holloway. 2+ minutes gone by round two. Holloway attacks the body. Max came in having landed more significant strikes than any fighter in UFC history. Nice combination from the Toms River native Frankie Edgar. Ooh, stiff left from Max Holloway. Some blood starting to trickle out of that Frankie Edgar nose. First opened by that Holloway jab in round one.
Max using that jab nicely to keep Frankie off of him.
Holloway with an uppercut. Well, Frankie Edgar, the first fighter Mark Henry ever trained. Let's call on Mark Henry, Ricardo Almeida.
Espo! Frankie, he's starting to sit on the punches. The 31 is there.
Good exchange on the break there. Max landed a good right hand.
You heard Ricardo Almeida intimate that Holloway's starting to sit down on his punches, and they believe that might present a takedown opportunity.
Oh, nice right hand by the champ.
And that got Edgar's attention. There's the jab again.
That was the cleanest shot of the fight so far. Good right hand by Frankie.
That jab increasingly becoming a problem for Edgar. Head strikes advantage Holloway. Edgar effective with that low kick again.
The low kick is the most effective technique for him so far. He's landing it over and over again. He's landed a few good right hands, but the low kick's been so far unchecked. combination. Finishing him with that right hand. He's catching Frankie on the end of him. Beautiful spinning back kick at the end of the round.
Big round for the champion.
There we go. You get that rhythm? That's it. That's all right. Take your time. He's slowing.
It's the volume. He's holding his breath, yo. You're waiting on one shot. You know what I mean? He's splitting it, okay? Hey, beautiful job that one, okay? Adjustment, though, when you go backwards, don't wait and swing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, huh? Ride him out. Come on. Okay?
Wrestle from there.
32. Hit him with your shoulder, circle, drive.
If you hit him near the fence, double
hit him with your shoulder, circle, and drive. Keep it open back takedowns. Don't try to get
on the counters. Every time you're countering,
it's 1-1.
Just watch him countering you with the two.
It's 1-1.
You're stepping off. You follow what I'm saying?
Here we see Frankie Edgar with that low calf kick. There's a nice right hand on the break by Holloway. And here's that beautiful spinning back kick at the end. Steps in with the punches to hide this. Boom! Right to the chest.
All right, here we go, round 3. It is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Ricardo Almeida in the corner of Frankie Edgar believes it is 1-1 after a big second round for Max Blessed Holloway. Pretty good entry from Edgar.
Good defense by the champion.
Man, too good.
Another low kick by Frankie. Ooh, good right hand by Frankie.
Edgar attacks with a kick. Holloway raises that right arm. Edgar got that body kick through. And jabs from Holloway here early round 3. Now Edgar attacks the body. Holloway returns a similar strike. Pretty good right hand from Edgar behind the ear of Holloway.
There's a nice right hand over the top by Frankie. Max is making him think about a takedown attempt. Nice knee to the body by Max.
Under 3 minutes to go in the round. Edgar hasn't really been close on a takedown yet.
Tries that combination often where he steps over to the right side and throws the right hand over the top.
Edgar with a spinning attack. 116 times in Holloway's career. Opponents have tried to take him down. He's stuffed 97 of them. Heavy leather there in the pocket.
Frankie's just having a hard time reaching him unless Max comes forward and commits. But when he's on the outside, Max just has such a reach advantage.
I believe Edgar has now crossed 7 hours of total octagon time as Holloway continues to track him down.
Good jab by Holloway after the right hand to the body. Stopped him with that jab. Popped him again. There's again. Ooh, good right hand. Oh, beautiful left hook by Max. Really stung him there.
Yep, Holloway made Edgar pay there. Edgar 0 for 6 now on his takedown attempts.
Oh, nice body kick. There's that uppercut. Max is turning it on. Max is putting the heat on Frankie. Big knee. Oh, right hand. Edgar's hurt. There's that uppercut. Edgar's hurt.
Less than a minute to go in the round.
Oh, he's got the takedown.
And there's Edgar's first takedown on his 7th attempt.
When Max got aggressive because he had hurt Frankie, Frankie capitalized. And the problem with this is, although Max did hurt him, landed some really good shots, what do the judges score more? And it depends. We still got 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
If Max can get, Frankie can get something off here, land some good shots, this could win him the round. Like right here. It's very difficult to score a round for a fighter if he ends the round on his back getting punched in the face. And if Frankie can accomplish that right here and now, Max getting back up to his feet right there is huge.
Yep. Well, Frankie Edgar at his resilient best there in that 3rd round after getting touched on the feet, was able to get a takedown.
Excellent round for both fighters.
Beautiful, Frankie.
You just gotta go with the single. You understand what I'm saying? Forget the head inside shots. Just go for the single. It's there all day.
You stop moving your feet. You have to drive on those takedowns.
10 minutes. He's catching
Make
you
his
when
feet
you're
move.
Drive
first, then
only when you're
turn
stepping left and stepping back is he getting you. He's stepping on your step and throwing. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when you step left and step back. He's just stepping on your step and speeding up.
When you take him down again, keep your knees off the ground. Keep your head position.
It's 2-1.
Cover the legs.
Last 2.
You need the last 2 rounds.
You need these last 2. You can do it, kid. You keep countering them all day. Counter them.
Here's a nasty knee by Holloway. Knee to the body and a big punch right afterwards. And here's the jab, jab, uppercut, just glanced. Left hook, uppercut again. And here's the takedown by Frankie. And this was absolutely huge. When Mark Henry was saying it's 2-1, they believed that he won that round.
I was under the impression Henry and Almeida feel like they're down 2-1 and they need these final 2, right?
Yes, okay. I think he thought he won that last round because of the takedown.
Got it.
That's the only round I think you could logically score for him.
Holloway opens up here the championship rounds with a big right hand. Edgar with a shot.
But honestly, even that round is highly debatable because not a lot was accomplished once he got him down. Good right hands by Frankie.
Holloway continuing to exercise some patience on the feet, which has not always been a trademark of his style. Look at that, Holloway's thrown 174 head strikes, landed 30% of them.
Frankie going to the body here with that kick. There's a right hand over the top. Good right hand again by Frankie. Snake-like jab by Max. And he's sneaky with it because he keeps it low.
Yeah.
He just comes up and pops you in the face, Thomas Hearn style.
Yeah, there you go. Edgar moving that head pretty well, all things considered. Pretty good entry, but Holloway proving too tough to take down. defense. About 2.5 here to go. Round 4 of a possible 5.
A lot of volume in this round from the challenger, but big shots here by the champion. You see the blood coming out of Frankie's nose again.
Nice left hook from Frankie Edgar. Edgar's head clears that offering from Holloway under 2 minutes in the round. Holloway just misses with a big right hand. Edgar having his moments on the feet here, round 4.
He certainly is. Although it does seem like the ones that Max lands have more pep on them.
Yes. Both fighters exchange jabs.
Good combination there by Frankie, but not a lot on it. He's just basically touching him with these shots.
Holloway starting to lower his body a little bit.
Good combination by Frank, and Max returns.
Oh, heavy shots from Holloway here late in round 4.
Big shots. Oh, he hurt him with that right hand.
All heart and toughness from the future Hall of Famer Edgar, still unable to take Holloway down once on 12 attempts.
Frankie Edgar relentlessly trying to get this fight to the ground with the last few seconds. 13 to go.
Another spinning attack to the body at the end of the round. 20 minutes down.
There we go, picking up steam. Keep it clean though. Good pressure. Hey, show right hand to the head. Show me some right hand to the body too, okay? He's dipping every time. Why is he spinning with the right hand? Right uppercut is open. Comes up like that, boom. Okay? You want to go strong side and sit with it? Top.
Well, pressure, he's not getting you at all. You understand what I'm saying? But watch the short twos. He came last round with the short two. So you got to play it a little bit. You understand what I'm saying?
He's stopping after your combos. If you want that takedown, you got to, right after the combo, 31 and run with it. I need you to run your feet and get into the cage.
You got to take
On your way to the cage, work your head outside. Your head's getting trapped on the inside.
All right, so it all comes down to this for Frankie Edgar, our 5th and final round. He has spent 6 years trying to join the illustrious list of 2-division UFC champions. Max Holloway trying to remain the hunted at 145 pounds. Our final round is underway. Edgar pressing forward in blue, Holloway in the black and gold. Edgar goes high, Holloway wise to it. Beautiful defensive footwork from Max Holloway.
Yeah, Edgar's throwing those kicks up and just catching gloves. Good one to the leg there. There's a sense of urgency from Frankie Edgar, and I think he really needs that. This is it. This, at 37 years old, this could be the last time he challenges for a title if he gets turned back. There's
Good
a
answer
shot.
there.
Good defense by Max Holloway. Excellent defense. I mean, this is perfect.
Edgar 1 for 13 on his takedown attempts. 92% takedown defense for Max Holloway, which really dovetails with the rest of his career. Nice jab from Holloway. Edgar with a flurry on the return.
Right hand over the top by Max.
That jab has done a lot of damage tonight.
Yeah, he just keeps it at his waist and then pops it in. You never know when it's coming. Good right hand over the top by Frankie there. But he needs a lot more than that.
Final 3 minutes. Edgar just out of range with that left hand, forces the miss now out of Holloway.
Such an educated jab by the champion. Good right hand to the body and over the top by Frankie Edgar.
One of his more significant right hands of the fight.
Halfway through the round, the 5th and final round. And in my opinion, Frankie's got to do something dramatic. There's a shot.
Nice sprawl by Holloway.
Sprawl. Looks like he's going to catch him in an anaconda choke.
Edgar presses forward, partially lands that right hand. Under 2 now to go. Head strike advantage, pretty significant for the champion, Max Holloway.
I mean, that has been most of his attack. He's mixed it up a bit, but man, those jabs to the face, the nose of Frankie's a big mess right now. Good right hand, perfect timing.
Holloway certainly not sitting on this lead, staying offensive late.
Beautiful jab there as well.
Once again, Edgar kept at bay by that beautiful Holloway jab.
1 minute.
Frankie just out of range, Holloway doesn't miss.
Frankie touched him with the left hook there, but not much on it. There's a good right hand over the top. Excellent punch. Not much time. There's that
nice
sitting
job.
back fist kick again, rather. Now look at this. Frankie's got his back. 11 seconds to go. Try to go high with a kick.
Edgar goes high. Final seconds of this one, Frankie Edgar and Max Holloway go the distance. A lot of similarities between these two human beings, two outstanding fathers and champions. So much respect as Mark Henry and Max Holloway share an embrace. Once again, the UFC featherweight champion showing you why he has been such a problem at 145 pounds for 6+ years.
Well, he's got the frame, he's got the experience, and tonight he just found the range. He just was using it so wisely. Such a good jab, such an educated jab. Stuffed almost every takedown attempt, and when he did get taken down, there was no significant damage. I mean, it was an excellent performance against a really world-class challenger in Frankie Edgar.
All right, this fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
And here we see Frankie Edgar having some success. Look at that beautiful right hand over the top. but Holloway countered with the right hand of his own. There's that nasty uppercut. That found a home several times in the fight. That's that big spinning back kick at the end of the round. Right hand by Frankie Edgar there over the top. And there, Max counters him, and a nice right hand from the outside. And one more nice, clean right hand here.
All right, so Max Holloway wearing that Hawaiian flag with pride tonight. And we can tell you that Alexander Volkanovski is going to sit down with me and Joe Rogan in a few minutes. We will ask him about the future of this featherweight division. In all likelihood, he will be next for the champion. Let's get to the official decision, brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile and never miss a knockout with their reliable network and unlimited data. One final time tonight, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 50-45, 50-45, and 48-47 for the winner. And still the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Max Blessed Holloway.
I will absolutely talk to him, but I'm going to talk to you first. The winner and still, ladies and gentlemen, Max Holloway. Max, you put on a great display of distance and control with your educated jab. You won the decision. Was there anything that surprised you about this fight tonight?
You know, everybody said I wasn't going to be able to wrestle with this guy. Everybody said I wasn't going to be able to stay with his pace. I wanted to prove a point and go 5 rounds with him so I could let the world know that I'm here to stay, and the Blessed Express is still on the move, baby. Choo-choo.
Now, Max, coming down from lightweight and now fighting again in your championship weight of 45, where do you see your future?
Hey, if they need a heavyweight next week for DC next month, let me know. Daddy's plan on the manager, you're going to get it.
So you basically will fight whatever fight looks good for you.
I got to get on your show, JRE. Get me on JRE, guys.
Anytime. You just tell me.
Hey, nothing but love for you guys. Frankie is a true warrior. Give him up for this guy. He's the guy that inspired me to be here. You're the man, Frank.
Thank you for a masterful performance, sir. Max Holloway, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Frankie Edgar, ladies and gentlemen. Frankie, this was a fight that you had wanted for a long time. It had been scheduled and rescheduled. It finally happened. What did you expect and what was different?
I expected everything he brought. Max is a stud, man. He represents our sport to the best, represents his division to the best. He's the best guy in the world.
What was your strategy coming in here?
Mix it up, you know. I thought I did okay. Max is a big guy. I'm giving up some pounds. I mean, that doesn't really matter. You know, I got my family here, my kid here. It's just tough, you know?
I completely understand. Frankie, there's been talk of you one day potentially even fighting at 135 pounds, and I've heard people say that's the real weight class where you're supposed to be. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I don't know, man. I need to go back to the drawing board and regroup. I'm not done. I got a lot of fight in me, man. Max is the best guy in the world, and I fought him pretty damn tough.
You have nothing to be ashamed of, sir, and you're one of the best fighters I've ever watched fight, and it was an honor to call your fight, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Edgar.
Well, man, that's a hard visual right there. Seeing Frankie Edgar with his son Santino walking out of the octagon, that's certainly what really matters, but the best is certainly still blessed. And Max Holloway gets his 17th UFC win here tonight. He's won 14 of his last 15, and as we have said in the past, it is going to take a special fighter with a once-in-a-lifetime type performance, or so it seems, to beat Max Blessed Holloway, and perhaps Alexander Volkanovski will be that guy. UFC 2, Holloway versus Edgar, has been brought to you by Motel 6. You're ready to tap out? Book online at motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you. by Devour Frozen Foods. Bring home and bite into the octagon crust of their new line of extremely meaty and cheesy frozen pizzas. By PokerStars, pound for pound the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars.net. And by Hobbs & Shaw. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs & Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham in theaters August 2nd. All right, here now a look at our upcoming UFC live event schedule. Next Saturday, UFC Fight Night Covington versus Lawler. Live from Newark, New Jersey. Special 3 p.m. start time for the main card on ESPN. Valentina Shevchenko putting her title on the line for the second time in 3 months. She'll face Liz Carmouche Saturday, August 10th in Uruguay. Wall-to-wall coverage on ESPN Plus begins at 5 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, August 17th. This is a big one. Heavyweight title rematch. UFC 241. Cormier versus Miocic 2 live from Anaheim. It's only on pay-per-view, 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern for the prelims on ESPN. And we will close out the month of August in China with another title fight. Jessica Andrade defending her strawweight title against Zhang Wei Li. Main card, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN+. All right, so UFC 240 is in the books. Joe Rogan and John Anik happy to welcome in the #1 contender, Alexander Volkanovski. First off, just want to get your thoughts on the 25 minutes turned in just there between Max Holloway and Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, well, I actually thought that was really close, sitting on the sidelines there. I thought it was a bit closer than what the judges scored, 50, 45. Right. I thought it was. I thought Frankie might have won some rounds, but it's definitely competitive, I thought. There was a lot of things that I thought that would happen. Like I knew that, Frankie will be able to handle the pace. When Max really wanted to pour it on, he'll always have that instinct to shoot, to slow it down and make Max hesitate. Right. That's sort of what you're seeing, but Max really worked his jab, really well and still really good at his distance, but it was a good fight. I enjoyed it.
That seems to be the problem that everybody faces with Max at 145 pounds, is the length and the distance and his ability to move just on the outside. When you see this and you're running it through with your skill set, how do you see it playing out with you and him?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty comfortable a little bit out of range as well. I like to pick my times when to come in. I'm very comfortable in the pocket as well. So, he likes to really pour it on, and you're seeing that when he was in your face, trying to really suffocate you and give you that claustrophobic feeling. But Frankie didn't really crumble there, and I know I won't, and I know I can handle that pace, and I know I'm very powerful. So if you want to come at me with that sort of game plan, I feel I'm pretty explosive and powerful. I believe I can do a lot more damage, and again, I've got my wrestling background. But again, Max is a true champion. I enjoy watching him fight, but mate, I want to get that fight. I want it.
So do you feel that the difference in what you bring is the knockout power?
Knockout power, and I believe that I'm comfortable out of range as well. So I feel Frankie really loves coming forward and being in the pocket and just staying in there, which he started, getting hit with a jab a few times, where I'm more than happy to be outside the range, work my way in, stay in, and work my angles, whatnot, work the game, the takedowns, keep him guessing, and I just want to work my game, and I believe I can do that.
Well, since you dominated Jose Aldo back in May in Brazil, I know you've had your eyes fixed on Max Holloway. He has now fought 2 very hard 25-minute fights here in 2019. I know October 5th, obviously, Marvel Stadium in Melbourne, Australia. How confident are you that Max will be able to turn around and take your challenge October 5?
Yeah, it was a 5-round fight, but I still don't think too much damage was in there. I believe he could turn it around, or I'm hoping, maybe, but in saying that, I guess it's up to him, but mate, let's fill out this 60,000, seat stadium, it'll be a blockbuster event. We could break records. What a crazy part, for our part of the world, it'll be huge. I want to be a part of it. Hopefully Max does too. Let's make it happen.
Well, it's been a crazy week for you, making weight as a backup, your commute, the stuff of legends. We appreciate you sticking around, and we hope you get that title fight later this year.
Thanks for having me. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Alexander Volkanovski, in all likelihood, will be next for the UFC featherweight champion, Max Blessed Holloway. What a night it was here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC President Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Patrick Weitzel. Our executive VP of Operations and Production is Craig Borsari. Our coordinating producer, Zach Candido. Tonight's show has been produced by Michael Lappy LaPlante and directed by the venerable Anthony Giordano. Well, Alexander Volkanovski was here. He had a front row seat for Max Holloway's brilliance tonight. Jeff Neal certainly got a big win tonight against Nico Price. He knew he might have to engage in a brawl, had to do so at times, but in the end, bounced Price's head on the canvas a couple times, and Jeff Neal emerges 4-0 inside the octagon. That set the stage for the co-main event. Chris Cyborg had a serious challenge on her hands tonight. She absorbed an early elbow that split her forehead open, but in the end, she was just a bit too much for the no longer undefeated Felicia Phenom Spencer. And then we had our championship fight. That was 2 years in the making. Max Holloway and Frankie Edgar. Edgar was game, as he always is, but in the end, Max Holloway and the Blessed Express still the class of this featherweight division. With that, for Joe Rogan and the rest of our UFC television crew, John Anik saying so long from Edmonton. We will see you in 3 short weeks from Anaheim for UFC 241. Good night.